Trust me, gay is in, gay is hot. I want some gay, gay it's gonna be. Trust me.
Well, hello, everybody. It has been a minute. So we're going to do this live. And before I bring on the amazing, the one, the only LaraFM, buckle up. Let's have a little fun. All right. And without further ado, here she is.
You are hilarious. And without further ado, buckle up. This is going to be fun.
Well,
you act like you're like one of the ride, on the ride. And are you guys ready to go? Buckle up and whoosh. When they drop you on the roller coasters, you're like,
right before
buckle up, guys.
Oh, your strap's not working. And then all of a sudden they get you all paranoid. And then
and then they're like, oh, wait, it's broken. And then they drop it. After the last thing you hear is it's broken. I watch those TikToks. I fucking laugh so hard. It's hilarious.
Absolutely.
Hi, Liz. This is fun.
Hi.
Okay, but this is fun because the last time we tried to do this, there was so much shit going on in my world. With my boyfriend at the time, who some people did or didn't know I was dating or not, and so much going on that to not be able to speak and say the things we should have been able to talk about, whether we were buzzed, having a glass of wine, smoking a motherfucking joint, trauma is trauma. It doesn't matter. Right. So I just feel like this is nice to be able to have, since we wanted to have a time where we can relax, be in a space, be in our bubble where we can be in our trauma, where we can be triggered if that comes up. We're in our safe space on Liz Ferris's channel and on LaraFM's channel. And we've also learned from our last interview that I think I still have hidden or not. I don't think I have mine on. What did we do? We privated it or something.
Yeah, I unblocked
the first take. Oh, you did unblock it. Okay. So I can unblock mine now. Anyways, so yeah, you can just see that it wasn't, obviously the mix was not good at all with everything. So now we're going to go back to take 2 with me and Liz uninterrupted, and we can fucking enjoy our time. Literally, like, this is what I wanted to do with Liz. Like, when me and you are together, we always just, we're like healing each other because we're talking about everything, and we could be talking about fucking screwing in a door, a hinge to the door, and then all of a sudden be like, oh yeah, remember in the cadet org when they used to, like, it just pops up, it just comes out. So it's like, I think that's good to have. I think that being in a space for us, like me being on your channel and vice versa, I just feel like we are safe together. So we can enjoy, and not have any egotistical, traumatic ego. What do you call that? I guess it's trauma. It's all trauma. I feel like when somebody can't handle something, like even I couldn't have a proper conversation with Aaron when he jumped on our last stream, because I was just I was already set in my comfortability to be able to open up and be vulnerable and be triggered. So not being in that mind state of being like, oh, somebody else can come in and not go as planned with what I thought they were going to come on and do and help us sort of heal or get through whatever upset we were having. Yeah. So anyways, part 2, we are back at it. I don't even remember what we were talking about. I guess we didn't even really get a chance to start. Yeah. We were just getting into how we get into it. Right.
Yeah. We were just having a private conversation before, and we were getting ready to be vulnerable with each other because we are really open. Like, there's so much of me that's come to realize why I have this connection with you. And I told you about it the other day. Are you cool with me telling everybody? Just because?
Yeah. No, okay. Babes, on our last stream, I already knew that me and you were cool about talking about Zitface. I call him Zitface now because It's just so much funner to not promote him. Zip Face, I wanted to talk about that. I wanted you to be like, yeah, I would talk. I wanted that to all come up. And clearly, and as I recall, Aaron Smith Levin is the one who brought Zip Face on or in the community of SPTV community. So why wouldn't it have been even more appropriate for us all to just be able to say things? But even Aaron coming on and being like, so did you lied and you said that you didn't say this to DOA or Scott? And it's like, okay, let my childhood trauma trigger again. And here you go. I'm going to lie to you, Aaron. I'm going to lie to you because you can't handle the fucking truth. He can't have a conversation. That's actually what I said while I was in my stony baloney-ness, being like, we can't talk to you. You're so hard to talk to. So back to, let's rewind the fishing pole. We're pulling it back. Hi, Super Pup.
Yeah, I'm honestly, guys, I plan on having an open.
That taught me a lesson though. Like, I'm not going to assume that another person that is in charge of a foundation or something of any kind, that they have some like thicker tools than me or something in a situation that they can't handle or is hard to talk about. We all have traumas and we can all get triggered and not handle things correctly easily at any point. So nobody's better than nobody.
Nobody. I'm just going to agree because
I'm the best.
Well, to be completely honest, I do think you are a one of a kind.
This is true.
You love the smoothies. You do what you need to do. You're completely who you are. Represents like who you show off to everybody is who you really are. And
yep,
it's kind of like meeting someone that's got so much musical talent. Sometimes you forget that they're also a human being too.
You're so funny. And it's so, but for me, I'm like, Liz, I don't have so much musical talent. Like in my mind, I'm just like, come on. I'm just playing around. I'm just playing around here in my music world. That's not talent. I'm just playing. That's how I feel, because
it comes so naturally to you though.
Mm-hmm.
I attach myself to sports. Like when people talk to me about music and songs, I'm like, oh, I remember that song, and I'll sing the song with them. But I don't suddenly go, oh, this was the best CD ever made, because I didn't have a radio like that growing up. Like,
yeah, I couldn't idolize. We weren't allowed to idolize a Madonna album or have a poster on our walls. Like, we would get in trouble. Like, it wasn't even, you definitely weren't allowed to have anything like that at the Int Ranch Cadet Org. I don't know if they had that at the Pack Ranch or when you were there. Like, I don't know wait, how old were you when you I think I've already asked you this. Probably asked you on our last stream. How old were you when you were in the Sea Org?
0 to 9 years old.
And then you left at 9 years old, not you're leaving the Sea Org, but as a 9-year-old, obviously, I could even tell you're still a Scientologist for sure.
Yep.
Okay. So one question I wanted to ask is, and you probably already answered this, but anybody can ask me questions I've answered a million times, and I'll answer it quick. If I answer it quick, that means I've already talked about it a million times. So you can probably go back and get more details when I was talking about it more. But at 9 years old, you were in Los Angeles?
Correct. I was at Pack Base.
At Pack Base. Okay. 9 years old, you left. Why?
I just got told. My mom came home and she was like, your grandma's coming to get you. Yeah, she came home from Post early, and the sun was still up. So I knew something was wrong.
I was like coughing and telling you, hold on. What do you mean by home? Because I want people to like, I feel weird about showing pictures. This is one of my things. I feel weird about showing pictures. Because my mom most of them were taken by my mother, who only took those pictures when we only had free time, and they had to be uptone happy pictures. So I feel fucking like these pictures don't even show or describe, like this whole fucking album is fake. It's like a fraud because they were all PR pictures. You know, they were all anyway. So when you say home,
so you know where...
you say my mom came home. So I just want people to be clear about this, because we'll break it down about the ranch as well. But your mother, who's in the Sea Org, correct?
Yeah.
So her mother's in the Sea Org
of AOLA,
which is a huge position. It's a little bit, I think it's the equivalent of the commanding officer of AOLA. They are the same post ranking. What was I going to say after? Oh, so your mom comes from her busy ass job in the Sea Org. And what do you mean by comes home? Is she in a berthing in a dorm?
We're in a berthing. We're in a berthing. We're in a dorm. So you know where the elderly are kept right now, further down the street. Right. We were there.
You were at that vanilla building.
Yeah.
It's still that weird off vanilla blue. Yellow.
Yeah. Just now it has a lot more cameras around it.
Right. Yeah. And probably the windows and things have still not been fixed since then. Nope. I mean, I could go film it and let you know. Me, Confident Chris, a bunch of us were just there not too long ago. It's so crazy. Okay. So that's interesting. You say that's where the old people live, but actually there's a lot more. I drive. I'm going to start doing the waking up with Lara, so you guys can see when I go to work or something. It won't be every day. It'll just be, hey, today I feel like waking up with my chat. So I want to show you guys what I do, right? So then I drive by there and I honk and I tell them, and they're all unloading, getting on or unloading. And I've noticed it's not just older people. It's all kinds of people now. It's like married, young couples it looks like young coupled executives almost, that they're young, but they're married, so they can be there. And I feel like it's either executives or elderly people that are married to an executive elderly person. Because this is what I'm seeing out of there. They're all in their higher, uniforms, and then, or they are married, like with their husband, and getting into a private car or the van that comes in and out of there, out of that the green gate that's open here and there.
I think that'd be amazing. Because you know how many kids that were like literally watching you. And many of us that could be watching in secret and just waiting to see a glimpse of our parent.
Or that building, because they used to live there, when 20 years ago with their parent, like you were. Okay, let's go back to that. So here's my next question. Did your mother walk? When you said come home, you're going to that building, and did you live in your own dorm with her?
It was just my mom and I.
Okay.
We had just gotten back from Florida, but it was just my mom and I.
Florida, not in the Sea Org?
My mom had become the LRH comm of Flag.
That's what I thought. Okay, so
and
she was flag trained LRH comm, right? And isn't that this has a higher, as people know, people are like, what's the difference? Why? Somebody asked me outside. So what is it better to do your OT levels at Flag? Is it considered in Scientology world to do your OT levels at Flag or at a regular org? You would go to Flag. They would demand
Flag.
Yeah, they would say, of course, go to Flag.
Because that's where you're going to get
the deepest quality. Beach. The deepest quality. Nothing is going to go wrong on your case. Because you have the LRH comm.
Beating the tar out of her child.
Literally, to make sure that your case is fucking cracked.
Yes, just so that when I get older, I could require a lot of auditing.
Yeah, let me be squirreling out ethics and enjoy my glass of wine here. Quick shout out. Oh, that was cool with the LaraFM and the in the glass there. Okay, now I'm just getting stoner beloner.
Stoner beloner.
This is an amazing wine company out in Little Rock, California here. a company, a winery. They're called Golden Star Vineyards. Why am I showing you my glass, guys? I can show you the freaking bottle. There you go. Golden Star Vineyards. I'm drinking a Syrah. Very nice. They literally grow all of their grapes and everything right there around. Liz, you would go there and have a good time just sitting there chatting with me and having. Yeah. They have also
iced tea.
Yeah, they have other cute things there, but they're not like a big restaurant or anything like that. You go there, they have wooden tables, barrels, like as little side things, like, and then you're just sitting there out in the middle of the desert, based Little Rock, and there's like, you know, you can see the something mountains, and they have like icing in the distance, but other than that, all around you is the vineyards. So you're sitting there drinking. To me, it's amazing. They also have, I think, a non-alcoholic one. So not that that would be exciting for you or not, I don't know. But what I'm saying is the feeling of sitting there drinking wine that came right from the earth that you're sitting and you're around. There's something about that is just like, it kind of raised my standards on when and how much and when I drink wine and where. Like, it has to be the moment.
I can honestly tell you. So I'm sober, as you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I said you can go and sit with me and you would love it, because just being there would be like, wow, there's something
it's educational really for me.
Mm-hmm. And it's these people, the owners are amazing. They're amazing. Lee and oh my God, Helen. Lee and Helen, they're so amazing. They have an amazing family. They are so smart. And I have talked to them about so much of my childhood and Scientology. And just because they asked we could just sit there and have amazing conversations forever. Now, see, guys, this is why this is mine and Liz's safe space, because we're just going to go off on little tangents and then come back. We always come back. Ew, like the Sea Org, we come back.
Oh God, no, we don't go back.
That is the motto of the Sea Org, because
that is
remember,
the motto.
You're signing the billion-year contract, so you're coming back.
So what we grew up believing was rinse, recycle, repeat.
Mm-hmm.
Rinse, recycle, repeat.
Destroy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Isn't it that create? Yeah, create, survives, destroy.
Yep.
Start, change, stop. That's Scientology. Something started, and then a da-da-da, and then you finish it. So if there's anything wrong with your job or your post or anything you're doing, they're like, well, clearly you didn't complete your cycle of action, because you started this and you just left it here on my desk and you didn't finish it. So therefore, I'm assigning you treason.
Now, here's the question.
Hats not wearing. Yes.
First time I got out and I got a real job. Okay. I remember trying to bust my ass, and when I first got out, I got a job at McDonald's. Okay. I didn't care. Flipping burgers was a hell of a lot better than.
Wait. I feel like I want to see. No, we have to do this. We have to do it like this, where we just talk about it as we go.
We just talk about everything.
Yeah. And I'm going to just write 9 years for you, so I can remember. I love that. When I'm writing, there's like music happening. Okay, 9. It's probably taking out the background noise so you can't hear. So we're gonna come back to you at 9 years old. I want to know that about your mom. What you mean when you say, so yeah, 9 years, and my mom came home and no, that's literally like, so your mom is in the Sea Org. Your mom fucking was the LRH comm of a huge organization that she had so much pressure. So coming home was coming to an apartment building with, yeah. Okay, so we'll get back to that. Tell me about the job thing.
So,
because I'll tell you my first job and my first experience right when you leave the Sea Org, and that is trippy.
I was blown away that you don't get written up for showing up like late or not working your ass off.
You were late?
No, I was not late my first time, but I came back from lunch a minute late, and I never got written up, and I was like,
oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Because
not at things that shouldn't be, not.
No chits, KRs.
No, all of a sudden you're not in ethics. Like, where were you? You're out there smoking an extra cigarette instead of being on time. And I'm like,
go get a sec check. Do you masturbate? Did you masturbate? Were you masturbating? Sorry. when I left the Sea Org, the last, like, my brain can't get it out. Freaking the last person who was sec checking me, he had this strong accent, and that's he was asking me that question, and that's how he said it, and I just can't get it out of my head. I mean, why would I? I was literally 17. Do you masturbate? On the question, do you masturbate? Has anything been suppressed? On the question, do you masturbate? Like, this is literally fucking what is happening inside the organizations when a child is trying to fucking leave this. Not even Scientology, but just leave the Sea Org. Okay,
Yep.
back to so you didn't get written up. Was that what
Nope.
else?
And my first paycheck, I about fell out of my chair.
Oh, you were like, this is out exchange. I felt like
I didn't work hard enough for this. Like, I could have worked harder.
I think
will
they
work
made a
harder now.
mistake. Yeah, I'm like, I think they made a mistake.
And then all of a sudden I'm like,
and then am I committing a withhold by not telling them?
no, because if you go back and tell them that you think you were overpaid, they look at you like you're crazy.
And I did. And so that's where they were like, what do you mean? They're like, and I was like, so, and then here they are trying to explain to me the hours and the this and times this. And I was just like, shoo, shoo, over my head. Taxes? What? Huh? Okay, but how do I still have this much money? So I can go to the bank and this is how much I was like, so taxes is going to take it out when I go to the bank? I thought the bank would take the taxes out. Oh my God. It was just, yeah. I also had to endorse, which I had no idea what that was, but give the check to Tommy and Lori Burpee, who's the house I was staying at, or this is your home after you left the Sea Org, in Eagle Rock. But yeah, that was it.
When we first left,
I can't believe that. I just remembered 100. Sorry, yeah, go.
That's what we're gonna do.
And I did too many. No, and I did too. Like you said, I was doing too much. I was that they didn't know how to tell me politely to like chill out. Stop doing other people's jobs.
Yeah, stop trying to do more than you need to.
Like, yeah, I guess I was like like I was just too much. Like they were like, and I'd be like, okay, what's next? I would literally like, what's next? I didn't think it was okay to be standing around a little or just waiting there. I just felt so fucking weird. I felt like, oh, yeah. I felt like it was the weirdest thing. And then getting the paycheck, I was like, I'm out exchange. That's why I'm such a constant overt committer. I'm just constantly committing PT overts because I got a $450 check for the 4 days of work that I like. Anyways, and yeah. So yeah, okay, go ahead. You said.
So back to when I was 9. So my mom.
No, wait. You just said something right before about your job. You were saying something about your job.
Oh, with my job, when I got the second paycheck, then I was like, okay, I'm working hard enough. Yeah. And I was doing everything. And then finally one of the crew was like, you're making us all look bad. Stop.
Yeah. Nobody told me that, but I figured it out after. I was like, oh.
So then I chilled out.
Years later. How long did you have that job for?
I had that job for
the McDonald's job. That was your first one,
like
right?
6 months.
How fast did you get the job? What do you like? Okay. Oh my God. See, I have so many questions because me leaving the Sea Org, even though we're kind of going backwards, we're going to go backwards. We're going to go from leaving all the way into our childhood.
There we go.
So my thing was when I left, I was shipped. They, with $300. It was supposed to be 500, but they spent the plane ticket. They took the plane ticket out of that money and then gave me whatever was rest, right? And I felt out of exchange. Like, why is the INR that's been interrogating me for the last 6 months on the e-meter and shit like that giving me $350 with my I think I had a passport or something. I didn't have an ID yet. Oh, maybe I had a Clearwater ID. I had a Florida ID, maybe. Yes, I had a Florida ID. I wonder where that went. And then I had some kind of passport. I think it was like my baby Canadian passport or something. I don't know. It must be my American passport because that's how I flew. I honestly don't remember how I flew. I just remember being like, okay, good. They just said I need to show these documents and go on. And that my mom will meet me at LAX airport.
They drove me straight to my mom.
Okay, rewind. So really quick. They drove you straight to your mom because they knew where your mom was, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And she was already out of the Sea Org at that point?
Mm-hmm. When I was,
and it wouldn't have
leaving.
been out PR, and she could have been making up her liability conditions by, being responsible for you and taking care of you. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, they put me on $200 on the plane to come to meet my mom at the airport, to then also see that Taryn Rinder was with her buddy. That's literally there. It was a buddy system. You got to keep, two people, make sure nobody wants to run away or get turbulated. Nothing bad happens. And then they basically drove me in a minivan to Eagle Rock, where they said, this is going to be your home. And this is Lori and Tom Burpee. And I've met them, they're OT5. I met them in Canada 25 years ago. Isn't that great? Wow. It's so great to see you. And thank you. And then they went off and had their private conversation. It was that whole weird thing. Okay. So that was that. So let's go back to 9 years old. Because otherwise I'm going to keep going.
We're going to keep bouncing. That's just what we do.
So 9 years old, you said your mom came. So did you walk from AOLA at that time? I mean, ASHO?
No, I had a really bad black eye. And so I was told to stay in the dorm.
That day?
Mm-hmm.
Were you normally at the org running around or doing a job?
I was normally at the org running around unless I had like a black eye or
running around. Hurt. But who gave you the black eye?
My mom.
So it was one of those type of situations.
Yeah.
So you were running around. She was frustrated or something with you?
Mm-hmm. I was an out ethics kid. I kept getting in trouble.
And she gave you a black eye. I mean, that reminds me of the ethics book that says, and in an upstack group, at the first pinprick, Joe would probably have a black eye.
Mm-hmm.
Or was that not it? I was just assuming.
Yeah, it was very, very heavy-handed.
Okay, wow, this is so horrible. Okay, so then at 9 years old, you're leaving. So you stayed home because you had a black eye.
Mm-hmm.
And your mom comes. Okay, now tell me. So your mom walks home or what?
No, she comes into the apartment, slams open the door, like it literally hit the wall.
Yeah.
And I jump up like, oh God, like, am I in trouble? And she's like, grab your stuff. Your grandma's on her way to pick you up. She'll be here in an hour. And I'm like, an hour?
Well, is it, when you hear it, are you kind of excited or are you scared?
At first I was like, I don't understand what's going on, and she's like, well, you don't need to understand. You just need to know that you're getting in the car with your grandmother. And I was like, well, let me go say goodbye to Molly. Let me go say goodbye to Sasha. Like, let me go say goodbye to one of them so that way they don't forget about me.
Oh my God.
And she's like, you can't say anything to anybody. And that's how I was able to get some of my baby pictures back.
Wow. So how long did you have? Do you remember? I don't know if you're too young to remember the exact time you had to, when she busted in with that pissed off saying, you're getting out of here, you're going.
I had 2 hours.
2 hours. And you're not allowed to tell anybody that you're leaving because you're not allowed to leave. Yeah. 9 years old. Exactly. You're not allowed to leave the Sea Org. Like if you're leaving the Sea Org, you're not allowed to tell or hint or talk to anybody about it at all. If you do, you're on the way to being declared a suppressive person.
Yeah.
So it's a very known thing to not talk about leaving or what you're doing if it's going to interbulate, or if it just has anything to do with leaving the Sea Org. You're not allowed to tell anybody that you want to leave, that you're leaving, or anything about a situation like that. You just have to go.
Yeah. So my grandma came and got me. She didn't say anything. My mom just packed me up, gave me my green blanket, put a whole bunch of stuff in the trunk, and then didn't say bye. Like, didn't say I'll see you soon. And all of a sudden she just tapped on the window and left. And I was just kind of like, what? Cried the entire way home. Like, the entire way back to my grandma's house, I cried.
I can't fucking.
All I wanted to do was be a good kid. I thought literally security found a way to get rid of me because so many security guards hated me and I was never going to see my mom or my friends again.
So now you're in the car, 9 years old, thinking your mom hates you, everybody hates you, and nobody knows where you're going, and you're not sure where you're going, right?
Correct.
Is your grandma happy to see you?
No, my grandma didn't like me. So she didn't talk to me very much. She thought I grew up in a cult.
I like that you're
She thought I was a
laughing
little
now.
weird. Now, yes. But in the moment when I was a kid, I was like, stop getting that word. It's not right.
Right.
And then as an adult, I'm like, man, that's why it's like, it's so nice and refreshing to have some of the friends that we've made on here. Like there's someone I talked to, like Jen Nelson. She came to visit me and it was like a family visiting. And it was like, oh my God, so this is what it feels like when family comes together and gives you a hug.
That is so cool.
Jen's in the chat. Nice. But she also, understands like my life gets crazy busy. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I miss you. Like, I need some of your calmness.
Yep. I have a few people like that too.
Yep.
I feel like it's so sweet. Like, yeah. I mean, I can name a few, but I'm not going to. Not gonna give all my sweet angels away. But they definitely do like send things and do things spontaneously all the time, randomly. And it's so amazing how it just keeps us going. Like it's literally the care and the backup, or like the football team, the rest of the football team, like you're doing everything,
team.
Yeah, they're like pushing you through, even though you're like, I don't know if I can do that. And all of a sudden you're doing it because your football team is already pushing you through to do it, like, and you're like, oh my
absolutely.
God, look, I finished it. I can't believe we have, like, I can't believe we did this. I can't believe, and then, so I called him. I'm like, thank you. You literally like, so I love, and sometimes I can't call sometimes. And more recently, I have not been able to just call and chat. I have just zero time. And when I have time, guess what I did today? Finally went to the fucking Wii Spa. I haven't been to Wii Spa. I used to go there once or twice a week for sure. No, I used to not allow anything to interrupt. And if something interrupted, I would say no. I have an appointment. I would call it an appointment because at the time, to me, that was like, this too shall pass. I used to go to Wii Spa and just whoosh, everything's fine. Look, I'm like cleansing, I'm steaming. Oh my God, I feel, it just rejuvenates. So it's like I barely have time to do that, but it's fucking incredible. Our chat, our people in our chat, and all the people that literally keep us going. Like they literally, and they held us through a lot of these upsets we've had in our community.
Yeah.
So many of people have been like, hey, I can't even imagine how you must be feeling. And maybe you're fine. And maybe you're fucking under a fucking rock, but I just want you to know, like, it's just, I know you get them, we're here for you. We've got you. It was completely unacceptable how that went. Things like that, where you're going, okay. It's the push.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
And we never had that. And if we didn't have that now as adults, that could be very detrimental.
Yeah, because for me, I obviously bounce ideas off Carrie. When something doesn't smell right, I'll tell her first, because my smellometer.
She's a pretty good fucking smeller. I love Carrie for that. She's a pretty good smeller on fucking lie detecting. She's probably laughing. She knows.
She probably is, but it's like she's able to see things that sometimes I'm not. Like she gets a premonition, if you want, or like a gut feeling about a person. And you know what? It turns out to be right. And I don't tell her enough. And because she's not home yet, I can at least say that to my audience.
Yep.
And not have to say it to her so often.
Yeah, Carrie, you freaking are badass, babe. Like, it's so amazing. And I've told her this when we were in the lake having our moment. That's so cute. She sent me pictures. I love her so much. It's quite incredible to see a human being and see their full heart and see when they can get angry and see what triggers them, and then feeling like, oh, I don't like you or you don't like me, and then love again and heal from it and being like, I loved that you were okay when I didn't like you in that moment. And then you held it together, let me have my space, came back to it. Those are some quality ass people. When we get friends that I've had friends for so long that I'm now at 38 years old, still just now going like, why the fuck am I holding on to that friendship? That's such old behavior. Like, I'm fucking badass. I can do like pretty much anything in the world. Like, and I want to, like, I'm like, and our intentions are never to, like, aren't trying to be bad. It's always like we say a lie because we're trying to protect either our hearts or somebody else's. We do something because, and it's always been like where Carrie, she kind of goes, okay, babe, hold on that. I'll tell you in a minute. Like, she kind of will just come out and say that. And I love that kind of person that will kind of just go, I don't know what it is, but something isn't natural here. Something is resistant. Something is like something is sticky. And I love people who have a good nose like that. I love that. I love that. I also think that was taken away from us. That like sense of gut feeling and this isn't okay. I know it was completely stripped. It was trained out of us.
Yeah.
No matter how much we thought it was normal or out ethics or out of valence, it was trained out of us. It was drilled. It was fucking like drilled out of us to a point where if we were acting ourselves as a child or not, you are not being yourself anymore because it was drilled out of us.
Yeah. And
so imagine how insecure we feel if somebody's saying like, oh, Lara is blah, or they say dumb shit. And I'm going like, somebody could throw a comment like blah, 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 or Lara doesn't have a good voice or, and those, I don't care. I'm like, I never was trying to be a great singer. I was just trying to flow, do my thing. Like, that's always been my thing. They can throw some kind of fucking, there's some things that when a non-healthy person throws at somebody, whether it's a friend and I see them do it to a friend, I don't even give a fuck at that point if that person actually did something bad. If I see that somebody is throwing something negative in words at somebody else to get them in that position where they are so vulnerable again, that to me is not a friend. That to me is the most manipulative thing you can do by calling somebody, saying you're a friend and hey, we've been friends for so long, that by the end of a conversation, if you feel shitty at the end of my phone call every single time, you feel internally shitty that you then go, oh, I like in your own mind thinking I need to do something better. I need to fix myself because I feel shitty that this person just told me this thing about me that must be true because I'm giving them my heart and my friendship. So if they're saying this to me, That is the worst thing you can do. You take a friendship and then you fucking hold it through somebody and say, oh, we've been friends for so long, you can't ruin this. I am so happy with ruining it. Like, I'm like, get out of here. None of my good friends say that. None of my true deep friends up to this day. What?
Oh, for some reason my sound went out for a second. I was like, that looked good. You were passionate.
I was in the moment, Liz. Anyways,
I love
yeah.
that.
No, I'm very much, and I said this, I said this about certain people where they're like, actually, I don't even want to say that. I'm just going to say it for myself. I am who I am here as I am everywhere I am. Like, I am loving. I'm doing this for love. I'm doing this for clarity. We do this for clarity. So I have found it talking with you and doing these episodes and things like that, that the thing that was wiped from us, that gut feeling of knowing, and then it's wiped from us as a kid, we're trying to get that back right now as adults. That's like the only thing we aren't good at. We haven't been good at that because it's called immaturity. It's not just immature, and some immaturity can be anything. If you didn't have something when you were a child, then you are it didn't mature you, then you are immature in that department. And so to me, it feels like, oh, that's just my child that never got the thing that I fucking always wanted. That's the child that I always wanted as a 9-year-old. I wanted to leave the Sea Org and go live my life and have a good life and do, I wanted to do all that. So I've converted it. I've turned this, when I start to feel squished or suppressed or in our space, and somebody comes in and interrupts or interferes with that because of their harsh comments or the way that they're purposely saying things, so that you can go right back into that small space where you can be controlled. I'm not going to do that. The moment I feel fucking like my breath and my emotions are starting to get triggered and I can't speak anymore because I'm like, I feel vulnerable because the person in front of me is reminding of me, like making me feel how I felt as a child when you get slammed in the car and your mom fucking taps on the window, doesn't give you a hug and love. Like,
yep,
that's how it is. It's just like, okay, then I guess I'm a small person who can't do anything anymore. It feels,
and in those moments,
feels so fucked up. I just can't stand it.
Yeah, and in that moment, it was the first time in a long time I begged to go live with my dad.
So yeah, I was gonna ask about that. So Bob Ferris.
Yep.
So Bob Ferris, that was literally the question when I was like, I have so many questions. So you and your mom are doing, your mom comes to you, tells you, get out, you go in the car. Where's your dad this whole time?
My dad is at Gold.
At Gold Base.
Yeah.
How long at 9 years old has your dad been at Gold Base?
Since I was 3.
Okay. How often did you see your dad when you were down in Los Angeles? From age 3
my little
9.
Kid memory
of what you remember. Right.
Tells me like every 6 months. Like I got to see my dad once every 6 months.
No, I got that. And I'm going to ask you, everybody's like, oh, for me, I'm like, that doesn't sound so bad, which is horrible. Like the chat's probably like, no, Lara, that's fucking horrible. What's even more horrible is, how long did you have when your dad came down? And when did he leave?
Like 3 to 4 hours.
Not 3 or 4 days, guys. For the people in the back, 3 or 4 hours. Okay. Bob Ferris, 3 or 4 hours every 6 months did Liz see you, Bob Ferris. I act like he's going to see this someday.
Someday he will.
I always have hopes. Okay. Anyway, so continue. So your dad is at Gold Base, and this is why you were not able. To be seeing your dad, or go, hey, I don't want to be here. I want to go be with my dad. Oh, I can't. My dad's at Gold Base.
Yep. My dad's at Gold Base.
Was
and
there
my
an
mom's
option?
dead.
And this is just not between me and you, because you know what I'm talking about. But was there an option for you to go to the Int Ranch as a cadet or as a kid at 9 years old?
My mom wouldn't let me.
Why?
My mom wouldn't let me.
So your mom that was abusing you at the time, and I'm not trying to crush on your mom and be rude, because we've all grown and we've been learning a lot, learning and loving. We're healing and we're going to talk about shit, and we knew we going to get dirty and hard. So your mom
said no.
Let's try to be I'm going to be very blunt right here. And I love you, and you know that, and I don't mean this to be harsh. Your mom's beating you because you're fucking annoying, because you're distracting her from her post. Your dad is at Gold Base. You can't see him because you're not allowed to go to Gold Base alone, or even on Gold Base without permission, unless you have to have actual clearances to go to Gold Base. Whether you're a child or not, right? Age, body doesn't matter. So you can't go to Gold Base, and your mom and dad are separated, so they don't need to see each other. They're very not interested in that, right?
Correct.
Okay. And your dad comes down. I always say down. That's the childhood thing too. And it's like my fucking map of my brain of California is so fucked up, because it's like, I say down and up, and it's still the right way, but it's not up or down. I'm still going from here to there, but I always say up and down, and it's not. So your dad would have to take, and I know this because I was at the Int Ranch, your dad would have to take a shuttle van. We call them the Dolphin vans, or a van that went from Gold Base, and it was only once or twice a day that it would go from Gold Base, which was 3 hours about away from Los Angeles, down here.
Yeah. And they would go to the HGB on our end.
Yeah, they would go to the Hubbard Guidance Center on HGB on Hollywood and Ivar, where we were just protesting not too long ago. And that's where they only come to and from Gold Base to drop off the executives or people. If they had parents or kids, they were going to see them for a few hours. And then your dad caught the second shuttle back, which is dinner time, back to Gold Base.
Mm-hmm.
Every 6 months for his daughter, Liz Ferris. It feels like I can do it for you. What's up, Fox? What are you doing? Are you getting your bone? Get your bone. She's so funny. I looked down and she was like, ha, ha. I was like, what are you doing? Yeah, she was chewing her bone.
Is my mom still in? She still believes in a lot of it, but she feels bad for getting me into a cult.
Yeah, I pause on that because I went and visited you and I met your mom, and that was it was strange because your mom is nice, and nice. Like, this is me walking in meeting, right? So your mom is nice. I can tell you guys have your relationship, how you have it. It's a little like, hey, mom. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, no problem, mom. Yep. Got to do that. Okay. Yeah. 10:30 appointment. Yeah, let's leave in a little. Like, I see that you're very, do you feel, I know this is random. Sorry. Do you feel that you love your mom?
To the best of my ability.
Do you feel that the love for your mom, and I don't mean this sexually, obviously, at all. Do you mean the love? Do you, and I don't know, do you compare how you have love for Carrie and everything, and you can see the depth of love? And do you even think your mom has the capability of that?
I think my mom loves to the best of her ability. I think that she doesn't quite understand the pain that she's caused.
Right.
You know,
What did
like
what did
it's
she
not
think
that big of
about
a deal.
what did she have you talk to her about
Oh yeah,
the black guy thing?
yeah.
What
The
did she
black
say?
eyes, the broken noses, the broken bones.
What did she say?
That you were an accident prone kid who would fall down a lot, and that you had a wild imagination.
She's still saying this now?
And it was discipline. That's what she's saying now. It was discipline.
So wait, did she start with that? And then now that, like today, as of today, she feels like, well, maybe if I did do that, it was discipline.
Yeah.
Okay.
That happened like 2 years ago where she said that.
Okay. See, so that's what I saw when I went there and felt that. And also I'm assuming that your mom doesn't watch these shows. Cause that's why I was like,
No, I told her she can.
I'm not trying to squish on your mom right now, but mom, what? Is your mom coming in?
No.
Is it Carrie? Oh, Carrie, wait, Carrie.
She's saying wait. Laura just said wait.
Yeah, tell her to get in.
She says she has to stop at the loo. Nat Cat.
I'm a special needs educator, and I have so much respect for you, Liz. It's bad enough y'all were raised in this abusive cult, but navigating the world as a neurodivergent person must have been so hard, right, Liz?
Yeah. Yeah, because I also see things, sarcasm. I'm learning how to do sarcasm. But if someone throws sarcasm at me, I don't get it. I think when they're like,
no, I know this.
Sarcastic.
I know this.
I think they're being real.
I know this because I'm always like, Liz, I look at you and I'm like, I'm joking. Hello, you have to learn.
Yes, though I'm
and
trying.
Then you're like, oh, and then you take a moment and you're like, oh, why didn't I? You kind of are bummed at yourself for not getting it. And then you go, and then you have like your little laugh, like, oh, that is funny. And then that makes me laugh. I'm like, there we go. But even your sense of humor back is funny when you're like, yeah, okay, that's funny. Mm-hmm. You're like, I approve. It's funny. Okay, yeah. Even some people don't get certain sense of humor. You're not the only one, by the way, Liz. But yeah, I do. There was so many times like when we all met up at the Waffle House or whatever the House of Waffles or whatever in Hollywood and stuff. There was so many times we were sitting and I was being funny with you. And I was like, Carrie was laughing. I'm like, Carrie gets it, Liz. And you were like, no, I get it. But you didn't really get it. And then you were just so loving. You were just so, we just loved each other. That I was like, you were like, whatever. You were like, love Lara. Sure. Whatever she's saying. Yeah. And I was like, no, Liz isn't getting it. And Carrie would be laughing.
Yes. Carrie gets sarcasm. Like someone spits sarcasm and she's got to come back.
Yeah. And no, and she says it back.
If she's in a bad mood, she's got to come back.
Yeah. And she doesn't. And yeah. And you better be ready for that spit back. You better be ready for her dry sense of humor. Not everybody can handle it. I definitely can.
She puts it, sarcasm is her love language.
That's why I know she loves me.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have sarcastic conversations and giggle the fuck up every time. I'm like, I could be doing one thing and all of a sudden Carrie will just say something and I'm like, oh yeah, right. And you're like, yeah, she'll just say something and I'll be like, oh yeah, of course. Like, oh yeah, they definitely did that. Like we're both like, no, they did not. And remember our margarita, huge margarita straws, Carrie? I know you're there listening.
The huge margarita straw. Oh, you're talking about the goblet. Babe, you want a goblet?
The goblet. Liz, are we going to get to all the garbage? Are we going to get to the garbage?
Saturday? Maybe.
Let's do it. Let's talk about all those pictures because
and you don't have much, right?
No, I have like what's hanging on my mom's walls and she wouldn't let me take it down.
What a bitch.
I'm just saying,
I
we
said
didn't get much.
So no, me neither. Like that's why I'm saying it's so annoying to even show photos, but I want to show them because I need to. And I've shown them earlier on some earlier episodes, but not that I need to. See, I just put myself down because I need to. I guess I just wonder why, like, look, I just wonder why. I feel like I want to take all these out of this anyways, but I probably shouldn't be doing it like this. How did it go from like my mom coming off of her, you can see here, she's in her uniform. And this is when she was they were in the blues. They would wear the blue uniform with the skirts and the bow ties. I'm sure your mom wore those.
Yep.
She would wear them in the 80s. This is what they were. Anyway, so this is her coming home to me in the dorm. After she would pick us up from the ATA right across the street in that. And here I'm like 3 years old. It was right. This is literally
same haircut.
That's my sister right there. Right there. Right. Exactly. The bowl cut.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, because that was the quick Sea Org way to look like your kid had a good clean cut and that they hadn't been having a mullet. You could see I had a little bit of a mullet coming in there. 3 years old, and only a little bit after this, I was shipped off to the Int Ranch. Because my mom then went to Gold and was with your dad, Bob Ferris.
Yep.
So here's an interesting thing that chat can kind of also put the dots together on. Liz would have been sent to the Int Ranch Cadet Org if her dad simply, Bob, just said, I want Liz to be with me. I want Liz to be up here. And I don't know, actually, I don't know, because I think your mom had some other fucked up issues about having you with her.
Mm-hmm. She told me that day that I was never going to be allowed to live with my dad because he didn't want custody of me.
So does that mean that your mom was telling your dad you either have full custody of her and you're fully responsible for her, or she stays with me? And so she was mad that he didn't take full custody of you. So you are her problem now.
Mm-hmm.
That's so fucking unbelievable. Like, universe, how the fuck did this happen? How does parents go into an organization or a religion thinking that they're doing hopefully the best thing, that they're a shitty person and they want to be better, or they are good people and they want to do more than what they're doing? How does it come to this? How does it come to slamming the fucking door on your 9-year-old, opening it up, you're fucking leaving, and no, you don't talk to anybody. That's off policy. You're gonna be given a non-interpolation order if you speak a word about you leaving to anybody and saying bye to your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Even your friends that were in the cult, like you're already in a cult, in a fucked up situation, in it, and you can't even say bye to those fucking friends. How is Scientology good? Please tell me.
When you figure it out,
yeah, when they figure
it might enlighten some of my childhood.
It could help. Okay, so look, I was being very serious. Look, so that I was like 3 years old or whatever, that was just being, down at Blue Building at the ATA and visiting my mom, right, in her uniform. She would come visit us in her uniform. So then this was around this was about, I think I was about 5 years old here. See how I look still kind of small?
Yeah.
I think I was like 4 or 5 here. And my hair is chopped. I don't know why like that. I probably cut it myself or something. Clearly hasn't changed.
I don't know.
You know,
I think
when
you
I
become
look
a
at
better
this,
hairstylist now.
I still have a little mullet in there. I also look like a boy, I think, or maybe I just had maybe I was wearing Ben's sweater. That's Ben Weber.
Nora says it's so unbelievably sick what they did to all of us.
Yes, fucking every second, Nora, every second of our lives. Even when we were laughing, thinking we're having moments and memories with our friends.
Like Sea Org Day, and it's like a day you get to hang out with your family.
Yeah. But even then, right? Where did you go? For us, it was we went to Gold Base. There are cameras all over Gold Base. You're being watched 24/7. There is no freedom. That is not freedom. But yet, our childhood says that. Look, I'm going to show you that riding a little bicycle at Gold Base was fucking freedom. That was our holiday. Taking photos with my mom and dad here was the fucking holiday. Look, literally. Gold Base. At Gold Base playing foosball. You can even see some of the parents in the back here. They're in uniform over there. So they still didn't have time clearly to get out of uniform. But this was my freedom. These were moments I was like, this was so fun. This is the shit that made me not unalive myself.
Mm-hmm.
And we were at Gold Base. Everything is being controlled. That's not even a freedom. Even when the out of the 2 or 3 times that we did go to Canada to visit for 3 days, again, got to be back at a certain time. You can't, can't be spending too much. You're gonna, there's a possibility you could go out of valence if you're gone too long on LOA, leave of absence, which they steal from the military. So it sounds normal to people. But yeah, it's like, no, they're watching, Liz, they're watching us every single fucking moment of our life. Every second of our life.
Did you ever get a 3-day leave?
Yeah, to Canada when my grandma died. It was only because of a family emergency, and it would be out PR on Scientology's part if they didn't allow us to go, because the family would ask too many questions, and then that would stir up too much lawsuits or possible very bad things happening.
Yeah.
So they would have to let
when
people
my grandmother
go.
passed away, I got 3 days, but every single day I had to report in.
Yep, me too. And so did my mom. My mom had to call on, she had to call on my aunt's or somebody's cell phone or their direct phone and just say, hi. Yep. Hi. I'm just calling in for whoever was Mr. Duncan or just to let them know, like, yep, everything's going good. Yep. So we're here. We're going to do the funeral. Yeah. The PR is going great. I would hear the conversation she was having because I was so used to that behavior, but she wouldn't do it around any of the non-Scientology WOG member. She would even say that, well, let's keep the WOGs out of this. And let's, I got to make a phone call to Gold. So I would know that. I would know, oh, grandma can't be in here, Oh, I have to stay here, in with, so that, you know what I mean? So it's just so gross. And that's what I would remember on the LOAs, the leave of absence. Anytime we would go, mom was always checking in. Dad was always checking in. Got their pager. They got to call in. The MAA would just be like, okay, what's the update? Okay, good. All right, great. See you guys, everything's planned. Yep. If the planes were late, got to call them and let them know. Oh, it looks like, yep, okay. Oh, okay. I don't know. Are you sure the plane is late? You're not trying to blow, are you? Literally. Like it would like every second. So if they're doing that to our adult parents, Liz.
Of course they're going to do it to us. When we turn around.
But what kind of control does your mom at this point have on you? She has nothing. She only has what she has on you, and that's what she's getting. And she thinks that's love.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay. So I feel like I'm like reeling you on this thing, and I don't mean to. Okay. So 9 years old, your dad's at Gold Base. That's why he's not in the picture, right? That's not an option, basically. And so your mom figures out, obviously your mom is calling your grandma. Oh my God, my nose is itching. Your mom is calling your your grandmother, her mother,
Mhm.
saying probably like, you know, she's too much, she's she's out of hand, you know, whatever it is, and then your grandma doesn't like you either, but is like, fine, I'll take her.
Mhm.
I'm fucking so sorry, Liz.
So she would like, I got dead aired all the time. Like,
What do you mean?
how like, you know how you can sit
she
down
just
at the
don't
table
answer. They just don't
and you
answer.
have a conversation with someone and dead aired.
No,
Like you're not even sitting there.
like they're like, don't talk to me.
Right? That's why, okay, have to tell you this. I felt, you know what it's like talking to Pearl and Selfless and
Mhm.
Heather and Summer.
Mhm.
They like to talk about 80s movies, 80s TV shows.
Oh,
Love it. Love hearing the stuff about the TV shows.
me too. I heard it a bunch in Texas with them. I never told them. Same with what's her name? Sweetie Pie Alicia.
Yeah.
They were all saying things. And I was like, like kind of being there. When they would be like, it's like, you know, Lara, do you remember MTV? Da, da, da. And I was like, no, but I didn't say no, but I was like, and it was so funny. And they would say, oh, Lara. And I was like, okay, I'll just keep doing my phone thing. Like, I just have no idea what you're talking about, but I also love that they're having fun chatting. So I'm not going to be like, nope, I don't know what you're meaning. But if they're like, Lara, you don't remember that part where, I'm like, no, guys, we didn't have TV. Remember cult Scientology? No.
Mm-hmm. And those of us that did have a TV because their mom held a high post, you were only allowed like a certain amount of time on it.
Yeah. Well, before they made the rule where you can't anymore. Pull that back up. Who just said that? Pull that back up. Why is Lara telling Liz's story? Who's Dancer? Who's Dancer?
Yeah, I have no idea who this is.
What the fuck is this rude fucking comment? Me and Liz are both talking about our childhood. Dancer. Fucking rude.
Well, we thought it might be interesting. So
Throw it in there.
Let's just throw it in there. Some interestingness.
Yeah, someone asking for the wrath of Lara.
My word.
Whoo. Okay. Anywho, Liz, what were we
I'm all, don't get Carrie mad, because then all of a sudden she's gonna get her computer and it's gonna be like, thank you for flying Savage Air. Thank you for flying Savage Air.
Yeah, Dancer, just so you know. Oh, what a childhood is. Oh, what a childhood, Lara and Liz.
Yep.
So, fuck you, bitch. Look at, see? Childhood trauma right there.
Yeah.
Where somebody is saying, so this is, you see little, anyways. Yeah, fuck you, bitch. Don't do shit like that. Dancer, enjoy your flight on Savage Air. Bye, bitch. When you're done being a bitch and not being an ass, come back when you want to hear both of our childhood trauma stories and are bouncing off the fucking thing whenever the fuck we want and say whatever the fuck we want and not answer whatever the fuck we want. Okay? Fucking bitch. God.
Well, I do want to,
literally,
in all fairness,
nope, I'm going to cut you off again. Just kidding. Go ahead.
Tell my story already. That way I don't have to tell it anymore.
Fine. Okay, let me cut you off.
Yep. I sent Nora a link. That way, if she wanted to stop by and say hi, because you had invited her.
Yeah, she totally.
I see her in the chat.
Don't pull an AA run on us, please. We haven't done enough TR bull baiting for that yet. We haven't done enough of that. What? We're not allowed to say that?
We're allowed to say whatever we want. Guess what? It's our channel.
Okay. So Nora said, tell me how you really feel, Lara.
Hey,
okay.
Sometimes Nora needs a hug.
And here's the other thing. The other thing why that made me so mad is that it's so hard for me right now to to just, especially with you, Liz, because we will bring up such detailed things like this. It's easy for me to break down your story because then I can also process mine at the same time, and I can, show a few things here and there. So I'm literally sitting here going like, okay, so you're in the car with your imagining like, dang, this is the same feeling that kids of Scientology feel. Whether you're Serge Delmar in Florida being fucking sent on the RPF so that you're a class 12 auditor at 12 years old, or you're being told by your mom fucking slamming the door open saying, go, your grandma, to another family member who doesn't want you in their space. Like, and then you like, it's just nonstop. And why can't you go with your dad? And yeah, you would have been at the Int Ranch. And by the way, she told me that. She told me, Lara, you know that I actually would have been at the Int Ranch if I would have gone with, like, if my dad basically would have said, I want Liz at the Int Ranch. That's actually what would have happened. So me and Liz would have fucking been best friends growing up with each other at the fucking Int Ranch.
Yeah. We would have had each other and you would have got to see my dad.
Look at fucking bloody tears, the ranch. That was like the first note that I ever, when I was putting my album together of my story, I put tears because it's not a funny, it's not a happy thing for me. It was like, how much fun did you have in prison? We should change the title of our childhood talk to try to come up with the seconds and the minutes that you had pockets of fun, and what were they in all of the muck?
I'll tell you, the very first time I thought being a Sea Org member was cool.
Oh God.
I was in Florida. I was in the Cadet Academy.
Mm-hmm.
And
how old were you?
I was 8.
Okay.
And didn't know how to read. I knew how to look words up in a dictionary. I could find words in a dictionary like nobody's business. You asked me to tell you what the word actually means.
You're like,
no, ma'am. No, ma'am. I was stuck on the word butterfly for almost a year.
Dang, but you could find the word butterfly in the dictionary.
I could find it in the dictionary. I could see what it looks like, but for some reason I could not understand what a butterfly was.
Right.
A misunderstood word.
and then in your misunderstood word, you got another misunderstood word from caterpillar, and that brings you on a whole nother. You're like, I just can't comprehend what a caterpillar is. And so then you go on to the next thing, right? And then you're in a word chain, right? Isn't that what they call it? You're in a word chain. So that's it. Flunk, Liz, you can no longer be on course because you keep going into word chains. You have to be sent to ethics because you are committing present time overts. Yeah. So you need to get those off so that you can go back to stopping going by misunderstood words.
Or
that's how it was for me. And that's how it was for anybody that was even trying to be ethical. That even people that were ethical, I'm like, why are they here? And I was like, oh, they have a problem. Like, I didn't know the words. I didn't know obviously what we know now, but I was like, oh, I guess they have some difficulty with studying. That's just in my mind. I was like, oh, whatever. I guess I got to hang out with them while I'm in ethics. It would be fun. Yeah.
When I was in Florida, so the first time I cleaned up a crew mess, like the first time, I had gotten the executive table and I'm sitting there like cleaning it off, getting their plates. Do you need anything else? Like doing so good. And
this is in Clearwater.
Pat on the butt. Pat on the butt.
This was in Clearwater?
This was in Clearwater.
Okay.
And for the first time ever, I felt like, oh my God, I did good.
You got a pat on the butt?
I got a pat on the butt.
By who?
Some executive. And so it wasn't until like a year later that I was like,
an executive touching your butt at all.
But in the moment, I thought it was the coolest thing ever. For sure,
100%. Same with me. To get a hug, to get anything from anybody, let alone somebody that was superior and above, that you just finally felt like, oh my God, I'm kind of cool. I feel slightly important to somebody. And that means
I can sit at their table.
Literally. And that means the world. That's survival instincts.
Yeah. Because
That's so
let me tell
horrible.
you, it was in the Sea Org, what table you sat at was very important. Very, very
If
important.
you had a table,
Yeah.
babe,
If you
wanna
didn't
go
have a
upstairs?
table, you were garbage and didn't get to eat with people.
Yeah.
Sorry to bring up that
Well,
memory.
no. Well, that reminded me of the whole FO, the FO of voting. You got to vote, and then you have the treasurer, and then they had all these things even at the cadet org, where there would be like 8 kids to one fucking 6 by whatever 4 table, right? Your standard fold out table or whatever. And they would have a treasurer, table IC or something, and the server, somebody was a server for the table, and then it would recycle every week. It would be the next person and the next person, right? But for some reason, like, because I was in ethics trouble and I was only getting 15-minute meal breaks, I didn't clean up the table in time to go to muster. So eventually I was just kicked off the table. Apparently, there was an LRH policy letter that says if the treasurer, then they can be removed or kicked off. The table can vote to kick them off the table. So there would be times I would be standing and just eating in the dish room, eating like a quick plate of food because I was kicked off the table. And then they reorganized the tables with the people's names on it that were at those tables, and mine was never on the board to be reorganized because everybody forgot that I had been kicked off a table because I was just okay with eating in the dish room. It was just easier, and then I can run out and go play longer. I could go play jump rope or whatever some other cadets were doing that they quickly scarfed down their food. Right? Your whole childhood was like mine, where you only had 15-minute breaks.
Yeah.
25-minute meal breaks.
I was never one of the lucky kids when I was in flag. I was constantly getting into trouble, and on break time, lunchtime, I would be assigned to cleaning out the dumpster.
For me, that was the norm.
Mm-hmm.
Cleaning.
They kept saying I was PTS.
Well, they said they were trying to figure out who I was PTS to. Because they're like, she's either a suppressive, because you're either a suppressive or you're being suppressed, right? So you have to be one or the other. And you're definitely not a suppressive, otherwise they're kicking you off the ranch or whatever, right? So they're going like, how is she a potential trouble source? Like, how is she? They were trying to figure out who was the one suppressing me or what influence was suppressing me basically my whole life. But they couldn't figure it out because who the fuck was I calling? There was no family. We weren't even allowed to use a phone on the base without permission.
That's where PAC was a little better.
Okay, the ranch had a code. An adult had to put the code star and then get pound and then give you the code and go like a regular phone. Wouldn't work, and the offices would be locked. So, anyways, yeah, there were totally different things, totally different childhoods, but that's why I question why it's easy for me to be like, so wait, where was your dad? That was the first time I was like, oh, your dad was at Gold fucking Base. That's why if your dad had your dad been at the Blue Building with your mom, even if they were separated or divorced or whatever, and he was just on a different post, you would have actually been hanging out more with your dad, probably gardening or whatever fucking job he was put on.
Yeah.
Digging holes, trenches, whatever the fuck exactly.
Yeah. What's a new trench? Question, what year did Liz leave flag?
Okay. Yeah.
We were
that's
there
a great
for 6 months. We were there for 6 months.
So can I ask you, you said 9 years old is when your mom kicked you, right? To go to your grandma's who was fucking proud. Yeah.
I was 8 years old at flag.
And so then you were 8 years old at flag. How long were you at flag?
6 months.
Okay. Your mom was already there before you went there, or what? Or did
no,
you
we
go
went there
with
together.
Her?
We
so
flew
you
there
left
together.
LA. Did you leave LA? So before you went to flag, you were in LA.
Mm-hmm.
What was her post position then when you were in LA?
She was the LRH comm of AOLA.
Okay, so she was going to flag to become the
LRH comm.
What year was that? What year was that?
1988.
Wow, I was 1988 at the ranch. I was like, what was I doing? At the ranch. Literally, my whole life was the ranch. Okay, so I was just trying to see, like, oh, maybe your mom was the LC when I was in Clearwater eventually. No, okay. So then, before you were there, so you went from LA. So where were you born? Let's go there. You already told you. I'm sure a lot of people know this, but let's just so that everything lines up. Where were you?
I was told that I was born in England, that my mom
were told?
It's a tricky situation because I've never actually looked up my birth information.
What? Ferris?
Wait, hold on. She has dual citizenship.
I have dual citizenship.
So do I. So do I.
Yeah. So
but
it wasn't that far-fetched to me to find out I was in England. Well, my aunt Mary said, no, you weren't. You were born in San Francisco. And I'm like, well,
what? Is your Aunt Mary a Scientologist?
No.
Okay.
It's my dad's sister.
You still don't know?
I've just never looked it up because either my mom's been
Carrie.
my whole life.
Carrie.
Yes.
You still don't know where your wife is born?
Nope.
Alert the media. Chat, did you guys know this? Liz's chat. Did you guys know where the fuck Liz is born, or that she still doesn't know? Girl, what? That was.
I've just never really looked into it. Because I've had my passport and
But we only learned this a few months ago.
Yeah, we did only learn this a few months ago by someone saying, "Oh yeah, somewhere else."
Oh my God. And that makes total sense because I didn't know my first name was Lara. I was called Megan all the way up until 23 years old. Guys, I'm 38. I was called Megan my whole life. My whole non-childhood adult life. And then I found out it was because back when we were at the ranch, 8 years old, shipped with all the other cadets at the ranch. We were shipped to the Social Security office to get our Social Security numbers. It was very weird, probably to child services or legal service, whoever was saying like, well, where are all these kids' Social Security numbers? So they had to make sure that we all got Social Security numbers. We were all dressed to the T in our the Sea Org shirts. It's the ranch. Khaki shorts with our Sea Org belt buckles. And so they're like, oh, I remember being in the Social Security office, whatever that was, being like, there was a lot of WOGs, the non-Scientologists, asking like, oh, what school are you guys part of? Like they were just naturally, like they would ask, like if you're waiting in a room and there's all these kids, oh, what's your school? What's your, and we're like, oh, we're a private school.
Yep.
Like we were told.
We're told all the time it's a private school.
Yeah. Oh, what's it?
I went to Pinewood Academy.
Cassio Canyon School. Yeah, Pinewood Academy. Cassio Canyon School. And then they'd be
Mace Kingsley.
Yeah, Mace Kingsley. And they would be like, oh, we've never heard of that. And be like, yeah, it's a private school. and then we were also told later, you could call it a private school. If they really ask you, you'd be like, it's more like a boarding school. And they could be like, oh, so your room and board. Like if they were asking too much questions, like, oh, do you live with your parents? Where are you? Where's your house or whatever? Then you could say, oh, I'm at a boarding school. So they're like, oh, they would understand that more. We were literally trained to say this to child care services, to Social Security offices, like people coming onto the property that were going to come and inspect the ranch and make sure we weren't getting beat up. And no, we got these false reports, but we just need to make sure, wow, the property, this is crazy. The property's beautiful. Look at all these vegetables. Wow, these farms. This is amazing. Wow. Well, good to see you guys. Well done. Thank you. Thank you for help. And they leave. And guess what? Back to work. Back the fuck to work. You guys did a great job. That was great PR. Good job. Okay. Now
I know my mom did a silent birth.
Yep. My mom attempted to do that.
I don't fully succeeded. I get told that all the time.
I think she did actually. She just never would tell me because she can't evaluate for my case. And remember,
Nope.
my mom was auditing me, and she was auditing me on recall a time you first saw the light. That's like a question in self-analysis. And I was like, I don't know what the light. She was like, it could be it. What are you thinking of? And so it started off with like, oh, the security guard was teaching me a funny trick and he shined the light. So it made me think like, great. Recall another time you saw the light or whatever, right? And so and I was like, oh, mom, I don't know. I have this. If I was going to go back in my, and so I don't know if you imagine as a child, like, oh, I was a baby and I guess there was a light that, you know, when I first opened my eyes, I saw the light and I was telling mom, I was like, maybe, I was like, mom, I think it was when you were giving birth to me. And she was like, tell me more. Tell me.
Yeah, and then they get so
And I was
excited.
like, yeah. And I was like, was there a lot of people there? I was like, maybe dad, or I don't know. I just remember, there being a doctor or somebody who like helped. And she was like, that's right. And then I was like, I don't know if dad or was there, but I do remember seeing the light. And she was like, what was the feel in that emotion? What was the smell? What was the touch? She would, you know, they had a card, the self-analysis. You have to go, what was the smell? What was the touch? What was the, and it's just like, I'm making up all this fucking shit. And my mom, and I think this is normal. My mom is honorably auditing me. I'm her daughter. How amazing is that? She's auditing me. So yeah, going back to thinking like it was not even a normal thing for us to go to our parents as a, I don't agree with this. Hey, mom, it was fucking do it now. Or what are you doing off policy? Why are you not? Well, what's the correct policy? Did you get an order from the adult, the supervisor to do it? Then you have to do it. Comply. Honey, stop the backflash. She would like do it with her fake love. Yeah.
Get your TRs in.
Honey, just come on. Kind of shake me up. Get your TRs in.
You're mouthing off. Go get CalMag.
Yeah. I'll get my motherfucking CalMag.
Cheers.
Here, I want to answer this question real quick.
Hi,
SP Squirrel, do you know where your parents were raised? I know where my mom was raised. My dad, I found out when I was like 30, was raised in Sacramento. Like, I didn't even know that my dad went to high school in Sacramento.
See, I went on a deep dive. In fact, that's when I made these dumb, I think they're dumb because I feel like I was going to try to make like a story of my life. And I started it with the Walmart photo. We literally took this family photo in the Sea Org. They were at Gold Base in Walmart in Hemet.
Here's a good one. Sorry.
Did either of you girls leave the cult, then return as adults under your own free will, like Aaron did? He rejoined in 2000 more, 12 years
He
more.
rejoined in 2000 for 12 more years. Wait, so did either of you girls leave the cult? No, we left the cult.
Well,
right,
I left
That's what I was
Pac
going to
Base at 9.
Yeah.
I went back at 16.
So
By
this
choice.
is where we're going. Hold on. So leave that question up there. Okay. Because this is now keeping me on track with these other things. I was like, oh, when are we going to get to 10 years old, 11 years old? So 9 years old, right? So, okay. So you're not sure where you were born, but your memories are as a child being in LA, right? And then you were like, oh, we're going to Flag. Right? Wasn't it like, oh my God? Or was it not? Was it not that cool at the time?
At the time, all I could think of was, oh, we'll get to go to Disney World because I cannot go to Disneyland one more time. I might kill Mickey Mouse.
Why were you going to Disneyland so much?
My Nana had gotten me a season pass.
Oh, when you went with your Nana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
okay. That makes more sense. No. Okay. So, but that was after, right? Because she kicked you out.
My Nana? No, my Nana died.
No. I'm saying your mom kicked you out to go be with your Nana at 9, right?
No, she kicked me out to go be with her mom, my grandma Lillian.
Oh, when you say Nana, I thought you meant her mom.
It's my
When you say
it's
Nana,
my dad's
it's a
mom's.
different.
Yeah, it's my dad's.
Ah.
My mom's dad's mom is my Nana. So technically, she's my great grandmother.
Okay. Okay. I'm glad we clarified that because that. Okay. So then 9 years old, you go with her mom,
Mm-hmm.
your mom's mom.
Awful.
Yeah,
Awful. Awful. And dad is still,
describes it mildly.
and your dad, Bob Ferris, still this whole time is at Gold Base with my mother as well at Gold Base this whole fucking
And
time.
he's calling me to let me know that he misses me.
Okay, I wanted to see, did he call you? Did he know you left? Did he know you were sent to go be with your mom's mom?
Well, technically, he's calling me because I called him. Because I knew the org's number like nobody's business.
So he's calling you and you're updating him on what you're doing now and how it's going. And he's like, oh, wow. He's like, oh, wow.
No, he's like, I'm telling him that I'm miserable. Please let me come live there. You know, I'm begging him.
With him after you're with your mom's mom.
I was in hell.
So you wanted to go to the cadet org. If he said, well, do you want to go to the Int Ranch cadet org?
I would have said yes.
Oh my God. See? And so he didn't. And so you were calling him saying like, I miss you. I want you to come. Can I come visit you? Or can you come visit me?
Can you come get me?
Can you come get me? And what did he say? What was he? What was the vibe? Like,
let me see if I can get some CSW time
to come see you.
Yeah.
So never are you going to be coming to the Int Ranch.
Yeah. So it just kind of solidified my mom's saying.
Was there
that he didn't want
something
anything to do with me?
Well, was there something now that you're an adult and you know Scientology's crap and all that? Was there something that you think like, did they know you were gay at 9 years old? Or like, was there something that definitely would have stopped you from going to up lines? You know what I mean? Like to get your clearances? Did you try to kill yourself early or something? Like,
no.
Okay. So I'm just wondering like what they would have said, like, they would, if you tried to unalive yourself or if you're gay, you're not allowed to go to Gold Base, or if you're have a family, they can't go to Gold Base, you know,
Nope,
things like that.
Gone.
So there was none of that. You were just apparently out ethics.
Yeah, I was apparently out ethics and very clumsy walking into doors.
So
falling downstairs.
PTS, what do they say? Susceptible or whatever it is that they say, like when you're a potential trouble source.
Mm-hmm.
You could cause potential trouble to the Scientology.
Yep. Plus, you know, I got into a couple fights at Mace Kingsley and got myself in trouble.
What kind of fights?
I defended this girl, Echo. She was new to AOLA. She was a new AOLA kid.
Okay. In the cadet or
no, when I was at PAC.
Oh, so she was like same age or like younger?
So you know how, have you ever talked to Sterling about when his time as an AOLA kid?
Not at all.
So
I feel like, let me be honest and open since we're open. I feel like me and Sterling, well, the only time I've seen Sterling is when we were at some like Scientology kind of meetup thing, whatever. And he just, to me, and same with Mike Brown at the time, they like even anybody that I would have seen, Justin fucking Miscavige, you know, like any of them I would have seen like, cocky or whatever, like, oh, you still haven't grown. You're still in your little valence. Like to me, my view, whether they were or weren't, my view of seeing them was like, fucking loser. Like, I don't give a fuck if I'm sleeping on a couch. Look at you. You're still a fucking cadet. Like, you're still like trying to be cool. I don't know. And so I've always had this thing. And I watched you and Sterling talk when you did that. And that made me weird because I was like, why does Sterling care about like, you know, healing Liz? Like, why does, like, to me, I'm like, I feel like I don't know Sterling. I can give him that. Like, I'm sure he's probably going to be like, you don't even know me, Megs or Megan, whatever he would call me. I mean, like, I don't know him, but I think I just have so much resentment of the Int Ranch and to older men or boy adults, because most of the cadets that were older were molesting a lot of the younger children. And to me, I'm going to say this real clear and straight up. And Sterling, come fucking do a fucking live with me, just like Mike Brown and I did. That it was uncomfortable. Let's just start a live stream and talk about shit. Maybe we'll get along. Maybe we won't. But I feel like there are cadets that are old that were doing shit like that, molesting and going. Okay, I'm going to talk about it. As children, being cadets in the cadet org, multiple times at nighttime, I would wake up in the middle of the night with an older cadet, Ryan Murphy, Gavin Clock. I'm going to name them. Power Coleman. I can name more, but Sterling, I'm sure knows about this. I'm sure Sterling knows that his buddies at the time, they're his friends, his best friends, or people he would play sports with that were too cool and too old, were way older, so they wouldn't let the little girls play or the young, like, fuck you. You're going to go ahead and molest us, but then we can't play soccer with you, huh? Not Sterling. I'm just saying his buddies were doing that. His buddies at the time. So yeah, this is a view as a child, as a cadet, that knew that other kids and myself were being molested. We don't know this word at the time, but we're being sexually assaulted by other cadets that are being told or being in an environment where they think that this is okay. They can just go write their overts and get it off and handle it in ethics.
Yeah. Or if I remember I was in ethics because Sasha and I got caught where he touched my boob.
Right.
Okay.
Did he purposely do it?
Yeah, he purposely did it.
That's cute.
We had done this whole thing where we had gotten married.
I'm like, but did he do it? And he went, good for him, Sasha.
But yeah, we'd gotten married. Katie Housen read us, did the whole thing. Katie Housen. So she was like, do you, Liz or Elizabeth Ferris, take Sasha Obolinski to be your lawfully wedded husband? Did the whole marriage thing.
Right.
And so the next day he grabbed my boob and someone saw, and we were both in ethics. Like literally, he was like, but we got married. And I'm like, sure. He touched me. He's my friend. Like, who cares? And
wait,
then you don't realize.
Why did you say friend?
Because I was scared to say husband. My mom was standing right there. You know how bad my mom would have kicked my ass if I said the word husband?
Well, why?
Because I was 7 years old.
You want some, babe? Want to say hi to Liz? Come say hi to Scott. Look, babe.
Hi, Scotty.
This is, so you have to push this forward. That's how you enter the gates.
Hey, do you like the new pictures you got sent? More to add to the calendar.
She's gonna add them to a calendar.
Oh, he can't hear. Here, baby. Oops. Ah. Oh, I was like, oh,
Lara
good. Let it
sent
burn.
pictures of you too.
I do, or you do?
You sent them.
Oh, damn it.
She's dropping the cherry.
It's okay. I need to redo all this. And
Let's
that's funny.
relight it. It'll be fun.
It's like burn. I'm like, fuck that. Yeah, relight it. Wait,
Hold
did
on.
I show you? Look.
Are you doing what I told you to do on the stream?
What do you mean?
You're supposed to be doing exactly what I tell you to do on the stream.
Exactly.
I forgot my orders.
Look at that face.
What was I supposed to do?
Sarcasm, babe.
Sarcasm.
Carrie goes sarcasm, babe. Oh, he's just Summer Savage is like he's joking.
Yeah, because people are
I
saying
just
that
remember because
Aaron.
because Aaron Smith Levin and fucking his chat, when we privated the video, we're all like, we saw Scott in the back telling her what to say. I was annoyed actually at Scott for being in my fucking, and I fucking was like, if you don't want to, and I muted it, and then I literally was like, if you don't want to hear what I said, then fucking leave and come back when you're ready. Don't talk. Literally, I was saying, like, I was like annoyed. And I was like, don't invade in my live stream. Like, I got fucked. And he was like, ugh, and he left. He literally left right after that. So, anyways.
Aw, you're too cute.
Yep. Look at how cute you guys are. It's almost like that Kodak moment.
Get that back.
Get out of my curtain. You just put it.
You gotta check the pictures.
No, you have to do this.
They're
Look,
cute.
it has to be a full
Stop
thing.
yelling at me.
Stop yelling at me. Okay, no, and then you're
Stop controlling me in this moment.
I want to hit the joint though.
Oh yeah, I actually was giving him the joint. That's I was like, babe.
10 minutes later,
He
Lara
doesn't
gets
drink-
the jokes. It's adorbs.
What is this Nora? Yes, raisin.
This Nora.
10
I like
minutes
her
later.
new
Sorry, it went out before I could read it. 10 minutes later, Lara gets the joke, and it's adorable. It's because I was like, I don't care if you're in the live stream. Like, he was kind of like, I don't need. He's so sweet. He went and walked Foxy and shit while I started. I was like, this is amazing. I could just come in and chill. And so it was so sweet. Now I get the joke, because when we were out there, we made a joke. I'm like, oh, that would be funny if you're like, did you say what I told you to do? And we were
You
just
told
laughing.
me to say it.
And then I forgot.
You didn't realize I was telling you a joke.
Yeah, and I was like, what did I do? What? And I thought, no,
Hey, it
thought
wasn't
you
until
were saying
Carrie
were
said
gonna
it that I was like, oh, that's sarcasm.
we were, and Liz was like, I don't know, was I? And yeah, I was telling her like, was I supposed to show you something, Liz? Like, did I forget? Anyways, okay, I'm gonna like this, and then I'll let Scotty go on his way.
Have some, yes. The Witch Star, DOA, Lara, Liz, you're stronger than you think. Always keep fighting. Thank you for being an inspiration. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for showing the love.
The Witch share is freaking amazing. Just want to say that.
Sweet.
And also, same with Brave. Me and Scott were saying Brave Castriel. Brave. Is it brave? Is she brave? Are they brave? Anyways, inside thing. If you know, you know, etc.
Etc. etc. etc.
Okay, so Liz, can
Yes.
you continue or what?
Yeah.
Also, I don't mind like how you do that. I know
I do what?
that. The Witch
Pop-up
share,
stuff?
I was trying to be anonymous so that you could have both of your secret names and choose to chat when you want. But anyways, yes, the Witch share is brave. So I already know. Okay, so because you have all these things starred. And I don't know if that's because Carrie's just amazing and Savage is amazing and Pearl's amazing and everybody's amazing. Or like, because I don't mind doing a few and then we go back into, so after, like, I want to continue with,
Keep talking.
I
We'll
love,
have Carrie pop some up.
okay, good, yeah. I like when you pop them up too, Carrie, because you're a little pervert and I love it.
I am a little pervert.
A good pervert. She's a good pervert. She's a cute pervert.
Yes, she is.
Okay.
Bridget,
so-
thank you for sharing your story. It's more important that that people hear how children are treated in Scientology. Yeah, because if it happened to us, it's still happening because there is the rules.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm going to finish Liz's kind of story and I'm going to keep adding. And then Liz will ask me. We'll actually go through it pretty quickly. But Liz, you can ask me or we'll talk about kind of my finish. Oh, we're going to do part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, especially just on this subject of the whole mom, dad, children, Sea Org, what happened, what the fuck was happening. Because when you're telling me your stuff, I'm going, it's so weird. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it feels like because I can understand, because I can break down your story and you're answering even questions I don't know, like about your grandma. And then like, why wasn't your dad there? Was your dad? Oh, he was at Gold Base. That's why. And for me, I'm like, oh, I know why. Because Gold Base, you're not allowed to. And Gold Base is You have to have clearance. Literally, it would be like military if you were allowed to be in a certain section of the military or not. Like, nope, you don't have the clearance to be here. It would be like, oh,
Nope.
so that's for me in my mind. I go, oh, that's why, Liz, you weren't able to just go to your dad. But the world, the chat is going, that's fucked up. I can't, like, that's a choice for a father to make. But yet, when you're in the Sea Org, it's not a choice for the father to make. In fact, you're not even a father. Yes, they know that they have this responsibility. They did birth, they brought life on the second dynamic. That's it. Just the
They've
second
expanded
dynamic.
their second dynamic.
So they are now responsible for it. And how can we make it better for Scientology, not you?
Yeah, my favorite lesbian.
Lesbian. You didn't read it right.
Correct.
Can you put that back up, Carrie? Liz,
Aw, it's gone.
retread.
Lesbian.
Retread. No, retread it.
I don't know how to do that.
She doesn't know how to redo that.
Okay, but instead of lesbian, it said lesbian.
Liz.
That's because I'm a Liz and I'm a bien.
It's because you're Liz and you're a being, so you're a lesbian.
I will own that. I will be that. I am a lesbian.
I'm gonna make you a shirt. Lesbian.
I
Okay.
love it.
I support lesbians.
I support. Oh, Rage Against the Dark Arts. So glad you guys are having this conversation.
Thank you, frickin' Miriam, and thank you and Serge for your frickin' chat today covering Mila Kunis's gross ass fucking fake bullshit interview with fucking Jimmy Kimmel, who that motherfucker Jimmy Kimmel is such a fake ass piece of shit, man. This man, the reason he gets Mila Kunis in the middle of a P. Diddy freaking sexual assault case that is not just him, it's the whole industry, all right? The whole industry of Hollywood. She thinks it's okay to keep an appointment, whether she made it or not before or after that. I just made up. She could have just scheduled it for her PR. But she's going to have an interview on Jimmy Kimmel about a stupid fucking movie she's doing that nobody gives a fuck or even heard about. And during this whole time, just being like, oh yeah, Ashton and his Halloween and Ashton's going to be the yellow brick road. Ashton is fucking part of sex child trafficking fucking charges with P. Diddy, hiding behind a business that he had to downgrade himself from. You and your husband saying a statement against Danny Man. Wake the fuck up. And why the fuck Jimmy Kimmel thinks it's okay to have Elizabeth Moss and Tom Cruise and fucking P. Diddy and all these people on his channel, and he never asks what the fucking audience wants the questions to be asked. Never ask those questions. I literally was outside Jimmy Kimmel yelling, Jimmy, and fucking ask questions. Have a good show, Jimmy. Do a show that people, like millions of people, will watch live. By the way, live, not just slightly live, like, hold on, cut that out. Okay, now it's live. Do a show where you can say, Tom Cruise, how has Scientology helped you? Why are people thinking you're an insane fucking maniac who's supporting a child trafficking sex cult? Yeah. What the hell is all this about? There are people outside. Like, look, let's bring the camera over. Look, zoom in. There they are. Let's get real, right? So here we are, me and you, Liz. We're going to be in our bubble talking about fucking childhood shit. Everybody else needs to be doing the same shit. We're not going to sit here looking like fools crying in a little emotional state where we're being triggered. And yeah, I look like an idiot or whatever when somebody's stamping on us because that is what they were taught to fucking do to handle trauma. We're not doing that. No, I am not doing that. And I am also not doing that with Mila Kunis, who thinks that she can continue this fake fucking facade of Hollywood, think it's okay to go up on these shows. Like Jimmy Kimmel wouldn't ask fucking real questions if he could, if he had the fucking balls to do it and break the contracts he's signing. That's the only way Jimmy Kimmel is famous. Literally because he only allows these famous people who will go on the show that he will say the actor or the manager can say, we have these questions that you do not ask. Go ahead with anything else. And the questions are all the questions that society wants to fucking know. Anyways, I just went on a roll right there. But thank you all, my sweetheart, Serge Delmar and Miriam, and all you ex-Scientology babies that are fucking getting through this shit in the way you're getting through it, even if you're doing your own therapy by not speaking about it and not being in the SBTV community, but obviously watching our channels because you love us. But even
We love
touring, traveling and doing your thing the way you are and staying out of it and just being amazing. You're fucking amazing. Like all of this, Liz, that we're going through, all these arguments, all these disappointments, all these amazing things happening, like the legal battles we're winning and all this, like it's also fucking important. And it's also like, you can't just, nobody can just say, nope, we can't have this in here. It's like, nobody controls this anymore. This is actually reality for us. This is literally the first time we're able to live our lives in the reality that we get to choose. And part of that is exposing and destroying Scientology, showing their fucking crimes, whether it's through art, whether it's through the way that people can do it in this time, in this generation. If it's being behind a computer, then fine. If it's doing it out on the streets, then great. But do it right. Don't hold back and don't fucking lie. And don't make us feel like we have to cover for people who like we feel like we need to, trauma bond with. And then here they are, like being able to spit out and say the fucking nasty random crap that they want to spit out and not fucking be accountable for it. No, we have to be accountable for it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I will say, so Colleen, it's not.
I didn't do
Bring
that.
it back.
It's not shit where your subscribers learn and heal from your discussions. And that is one thing I've gotten a lot of people to message me about.
Yeah.
Where when we address our trauma, it helps them address their trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And it's helping them rationalize some of the things that they couldn't come to terms with, that we all lived in our own version of a cult. And that's how we're easy to bond.
And not only that, and that could be a good or a bad thing, but like that's also why we as a community can understand why a leader can be fucking making dumb fucking mistakes that he's making.
Yeah.
I think we would all love to see that person do good. We would love to see them actually and Jenna do good. We would I don't think there's a deep fucking intentional hate, not by me for sure, by anybody, but it is very, like, I don't know how many times I have been up on this YouTube making myself like just vulnerable, just compete, like, I don't care. I'm sobbing, letting it go. I'm like, all right, I'm just saying, even now, just saying what I'm feeling. And like, everybody needs to do that too. You can't just be like, no, we can only talk. No, you can only talk about that. That is your fucking problem, not ours.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Do you want me to? I can help read. I love reading them.
Okay, good.
I'm better at reading than talking or trying to get my point across. With talking. With music and art, I could do it, but like with talking, I'm like, my words aren't enough. Natcat 180, thank you, honey, says, I'm so beyond happy you two are back together for a much needed take 2. Love much you two both. Kids cannot consent. Hashtag save Bob Ferris.
That's right.
Real quick.
Love you, girls. Thank you, Chrissy. Never in. Loves.
I did see quite a few times. I'm going to address that one. People are saying, will we ever do a live with Nora?
It's down here.
Yeah. She has a link to this live. If she was still in here, I would honestly say pop in,
That's so cute, huh? Mama too has a picture of me and Scott as sorry. But yes,
you guys take amazing pictures.
Look, let me be transparent. During this whole kerfluffle with Aaron fucking spewing. Look, Aaron knew that me and Scott were seeing each other and being cutesy dootsy way before fucking anybody knew. Okay. Him and Jenna knew this, and vice versa. I knew about him and Jenna way before anybody did. So this is why this is actually here. It really fucking actually is. Okay. The moment it's okay for like people to have their upsets or whatever, right? But internally, this is what was going on. Aaron and Jenna both knew that me and Scott were together. And the fact that Aaron would go on a live stream because he was offended. At that point, he had already made up his mind. I am no law, and he had not even texted me about this. And we will not get in. I will not show the fucking non-friendly texts that Aaron sent me throughout everything going on. But what I will say is that Aaron could have handled this so much easier and so much better. Scott has such a beautiful big heart. He is learning. I feel, in my opinion, honey, hi, you're not listening. He's become a better man even today than 6 months ago.
Is he listening right now?
I don't know. I have no idea. But what I'm saying is that I have been able to see that, and I have fucking yelled at Scott for fucking not being there for me and whether I was right or wrong. We have had fucking slam doors. I'm out. So the fact that Aaron, through all of this shit, and then coming up with Jenna on a stream saying that Scott is fucking vile, worse than David Miscavige. And then Aaron purposely before that not mentioning the fact that Scott and DOA won the La Poubelle case. He and then did a live stream to pretend that Streets was going to be on with him a few days later talking. No. And then it was just him reviewing Streets' video about something. That is so fucking passive aggressive and so fucking entitled and so not the friend that I was loving in LA, Aaron, that came to visit and that was doing the Danny Masterson reviews. Aaron at that time seemed like, yes, a while we go drink, have fun, go to the shows, right? But he seemed at that point somebody that would say, if somebody said, hey, buddy, you're a little bit, oh, I'm so sorry, my bad. To me, he seemed like somebody who would say, I didn't mean to do that. I might be a little buzzed. We're going to go. He seemed to me like that kind of guy. And I do believe there's still that in him. And I believe that's why Jenna is with him. And that's why they have their cute. I seen their cuteness. So I'm not going to sit here going like, what the fuck? Why are they together? I don't give a fuck why anybody's together with anybody, especially exact same reason why people thought, why are Scott and DOA? Oh my God, they're whatever. I don't care. Right. But when Aaron is going out there in the middle of a fucking hurricane, by the way, and still sitting on the stream being like a defensive and not a caring, bring it in community person, you're still the same person, Aaron. You're right. You are still the same person that you're being when you came up on mine and Liz's stream on take one. Or I call it take one, but it was your, oh, what a childhood with LaraFM. Right, Liz? Mm-hmm. That was take one. And he came up and I only brought him up because I thought he would be that friend while we're buzzing and drinking and having and really talk about stuff and not be a fucking asshole and just have fun. Sure. Have a drink. You can see I'm clearly already stoned and talking to Liz about shit. And there was so much shit going on where I was like, I literally was like, okay, if Aaron wants to jump on and he doesn't want to associate Scott, obviously, because they were having a beef. I can't even say they were having a beef. Scott kept saying, why is he reacting this way when I am asking questions? Even if I ask, and I said, because you're fucking asking them in a nasty way. Or he said, is it because of the way I'm asking? And I said, maybe. I was like, I don't know. We were having intense fucking conversations and it was so draining and hurtful. because it didn't have to go that way. It didn't need to be like that. And Serge Del Mar was right. He pulled after that, and after our interview the next day, he was right. At the moment, I was like, "Ugh." He was right. He was saying like, he was like, the whole thing was fucking just a swinging cock fest and blah, blah. And you know what? He said, Aaron should have never gone up there. I would have that should have never had gone the way it did, you know? And then he was right. If me and you were up here and Serge Del Mar came up here and we had taught but you know what? I don't know, because everybody's going through the things. There was so much going on, even with the SPTV Foundation and the people on the board, even the people I wasn't comfortable talking to that were on the board. Even the fact that I was like, wait, why was it that Aaron was the one that chose all the people to be on the fucking board? Aaron, excuse me, you never asked me to even be a part of the art side of the board. Fuck you. That is so rude. Like, I am clearly so excited. And I talked to him about, and I even told him about, everybody was saying this, but we were going, not realizing that the extreme of Aaron's relationship with the Aftermath Foundation and and I'm not trying to make this about Aaron. We're going to step out of this very soon, but to separate it from being like, okay, fine. Aaron's going to make a foundation that's like, cool. That's about our whole community. And yes, it's going to be wild and we don't have to have fucking rules and people going to ask shit and blah, right? That cool. Yeah. That's why we supported it. We're like, cool, SPTV, awesome, SPTV Foundation. Aaron didn't come up with SPTV. Aaron, you didn't come up with SPTV. Somebody in the chat and it came out randomly. It was a very natural way that somebody was like, oh, it could be SPTV, and it sounded good and people started playing with it. It's awesome. It's great. It's a great way for people to come to YouTube and kind of see all of the community of SPTV, whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not. That's why I support SPTV on YouTube, so that you can hear Aaron's story, so you can hear Liz, so you can hear Liz Gale, me, Serge, Nora, Tony Ortega. You're going to fucking hear it all because it's all part of the community. You don't control that. Nobody controls that. Once you do a hashtag, hashtag SPTV, that's internet now. This is a whole nother world. It's not your business. It's not a foundation that you can control. It's not that. So coming to that, I would say, sorry, what?
Hold on. Nat Cat comment. Yeah, no, sorry. The comment made me lose respect for Jenna. Scott is not worse than fucking David Miscavige.
Come on, girl.
Let me, since Scott is not in the room. Okay. Let me be honest with you.
He might be.
When I was sitting in the hospital, if he hears me, he hears me. It's not like he wasn't there.
I was going to say, I don't know.
Scott would show up and sit with me during the day when I was by myself at the hospital. And he'd sit there on the phone with Pearl, with Summer, with Heather, as everybody's checking in on me. And can
I just say something really quick on that?
Yeah.
I was in hysteria with Scott at the time because it was the whole Occupy, everything, blah, 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 like had come down to the. And and we were just trying to heal fucking men and right. So all this going on. And I begged Scott, I said, I know you're there. I know you're somewhere. Can you please, I know he wasn't actually near there. I said, Liz and I say, please, can you go just for me? Even if you are mad, if you love me, if not, can you please just go for me? Cause I know he fucking all the time was like, Liz is just so down to earth. So I knew that he had care and love for you. So I was like, I already knew that was there. And then I was like, I'm losing it. And I need time so that I can fix my head. If my head was fixed right now, I'd be right there sitting next to Liz. Can you please go be with her? And just because I know his energy. He's just there. He's soft. He's been there for people who's needed him in the fucking neediest, worst times. Like,
Mhm.
and he's just fucking amazing. And so yes, I'm the one who said, please, can you go? And he was like, absolutely. Like, it's not like he was like, let me think about it. No, he was like, of course, anything. He obviously loved me. We were just like, you know, nobody knew what we were going through, but like, I was like, can you please go for me? That's what I would want right now. I know that you can do whatever you want in your life right now. And he was like,
Mhm.
absolutely no problem. He literally
But
was
again,
like, okay,
he
so go
didn't
ahead.
stream a goddamn thing.
No, he wasn't going there to do that. He was going to there
He was
just
going
to
there
be there
to be
with you.
Scott.
Yep.
So
Yep.
when people
And
want
he
to
was-
say that he's more evil than David Miscavige, I'll throw down. He came to my hospital bed. I'll throw down.
They said that
He
before
came and
he
took
even
care of
did
me
that.
too.
And took care of Carrie, who had just had surgery.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't be at the hospital with you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there was definitely pizza.
Yeah, he may have allegedly snuck in pizza. But my nurses were so nice. Like, when they brought me not so yummy food, they would offer me a sandwich, or they would offer Scott and I a sandwich. Like, hey, do you want a sandwich too, since we're bringing her one? Or, hey, we've got an extra tray of food. Do you want it? And he'd be like, sure. You know, give some nurses the respect, and they will reward you well. Just treat them kindly.
So yeah, that was the thing. It wasn't I just getting back to that. It wasn't like
He wasn't doing it for clout.
No,
none
was
of
doing it
that.
just to be human.
But going back to the like, just to be clear, I was very fucking disappointed in Jenna for jumping on Aaron's bandwagon of any sort. Like, Jenna's herself. She can fucking do her own shit. She has done her own shit. Like, literally her own. So like, and I've seen them together and I get their relationship. I don't know it now. Absolutely. I don't know it now. I stopped talking to Aaron the fucking day he called Scott a fucking piece of shit and did not speak up about him winning the fucking lawsuit. And when he brought Jenna on the live stream, that was it. And yes, Aaron has texted me multiple times since then. Not recently, but ending with something that everybody is saying, Aaron, is correct. You do pull people into your shit to make sure that that person feels like they're getting casted out because you are mad at them or you have a disagreement with them. So no, Nora's not the only fucking psycho one who lost thousands of followers because you're stupid at. We don't want your fucking stupid followers. If you're a fucking follower of Aaron, and you unfollowed me, I'm so fucking glad. I'm so glad. And Aaron, unfollow me as well. We don't ever. In fact, let's go back down to 1,000. I'm fine with 1,000 followers. Who gives a shit? Who fucking gives a shit? This isn't fucking about that. This was supposed to be a space. This is a space, actually. SPTV is a space that you can chill with your friend Liz and LaraFM and talk about tiny details and skip over parts and interrupt and not be perfect and talk about fucking everything. And people can put puzzle pieces together because they hear and they connect finally with somebody via the fucking internet. Don't interrupt shit. It's like,
I'm going to tell you.
Nobody's God. Nobody's God. You have no, like, even therapists aren't 100% correct. So shut the fuck up. If you're trying to give me advice, are you a therapist? Are you here to directly help me for the next 6 months with your comment or with your like shit? Are you going to follow through with that all the way? Or are you just going to come in and shut me down? No, then that's not going to fucking happen.
Take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath, hold it, and let it out through your mouth. Thank you. Squeeze the cans, please.
Squeeze these cans. You're welcome.
Foxy just gave me her thing. She was like,
I am too.
See, she's a true service dog. So I'm actually getting her completely certified. I'm going to get her completely certified. She hears every single time I'm getting worked up. She's like, she does something to distract me. Like, hey, like every single time. If I'm feeling sad, she'll come and start being like licking my face, licking my tears, anything that's going on. And then she'll just stay there. It's unbelievable. She melts my heart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. One Love, 5,100, 51,000. I am two beings.
My little self and audit self. Wait,
adult self.
I am
my
two
little
beings.
self and
my little
adult
self and adult self. Okay. I was like, whoa. I
By
thought it said
talking tonight,
audit.
you were bravely processing your trauma and becoming whole. Proud of you both. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, let's go through a bunch of these things really quick, and then we can finish at least at a certain point with the childhood stuff.
JB, does that say Bob?
JB 808.
808.
JB 808. Do you know what an 808 is?
A beer.
808 drum. Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
Is it an 808 beer? Is that what that is?
Oh, no, that's 805. I'm probably getting beer shamed because let's be honest, I'm an alcoholic and I shouldn't know beers.
It's fine. You don't need to remember them. JB808, are you a producer or a musician? Is the 808 like the 808 drum? Let us know. Damn, I aspire to be as empathetic and transparently genuine as you, Lara. Oh, and Liz, Lara and Liz, learning and loving. Thank
That's
you.
right.
I bet you 808. I bet you it's a music thing.
Probably.
Hi, Crazy Love is Love and your new foundation. Can you put your organization in the chat really quick if you're still here? Crazy Love is Love. I want everybody to know about it. Thank you. Love you.
Isn't it safe?
Yes, but I want so that I say it correctly with the full thing. Give me all the details in one full sentence in the chat so that I could we can put it up. Your buddy says hello. My rock star here is my tooth fairy money for Foxy. I love you. We love you. Krista, I am still learning. Do they teach normal school classes? I am still learning. Do they teach normal school classes? What is normal school classes, Krista?
Because to be completely honest, when I left,
No, because Liz couldn't read.
I didn't know how to read.
And
my math was great. Looking shit up in the dictionary, great. Alphabet down.
Yeah. Can you do it backwards? Could you do the alphabet backwards?
When I was a kid in multiple languages.
Okay, so you could do it forward and backwards. I was just wondering. Okay, so yeah, clay. You could do clay demos.
But I could not read a sentence if my life depended on it. The Cat in the Hat. Fuck you. First of all, if you don't know how to read, that book is vile.
I'm going to go back on that, but I'm pretty sure I understand what you were saying. Also, I think that oh wait a minute, you both keep writing. Oh, do you want me to read it?
Yeah.
Not Cat 180. My respect for you both keeps growing each minute. When someone messes with your identity, this is trauma. My bullying led to me having similar issues as an adult, and I feel like I don't know who I am.
I can understand that.
Selfless self. Question: what was the first thing that you encountered as a child from outside Scientology that made you doubt what LRH wrote and thought? Could be other people, a song, a movie, outside viewpoint.
I didn't realize that LRH was wrong until Carrie told me.
I didn't tell you.
She
said,
hinted.
hey.
She led me to water and helped me drink until I could go.
But I think the main thing it was when Carrie said like, no, but he's not. No, this isn't right. This is wrong. It was probably just something like that. Yeah. I think
very nice and comforting. Yeah.
I think mine was when my best friend, Jason Spallino, was like, said some remark like, so like if they're going to clear the planet, okay, in reality, if they're going to clear the planet, like psychiatry, he was like learning about like medication and stuff. And then he said some remark like psychiatry, you know, is literally, he's like, everybody's on pills. Everybody's on medication. He was like, look, they're mad at us for smoking weed. I think it was because I was smoking weed. I think it was marijuana, guys. I think it was marijuana.
Probably.
But,
Pop
yeah,
that back up.
literally. And I was like, fuck SBTV, let's rebrand PSTV, protesting Scientology. No. I mean, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I understand. Nora, I understand how you feel.
Protesters.
Let's move on. I hate when people are like, just acknowledge it and move on, Nora. Just acknowledge it.
If I hear one more person say, this is how Liz felt, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Because first of all,
Rude as fuck. Okay.
it puts
And
down my
you're-
emotions and it puts
Right.
down her emotions. And her emotions are 1,000% valid, you know, and my
No,
emotions, they're valid. But at the same time, don't put down someone else's pain and don't sit there and think that, you know, people aren't sending out nasty death threats. It's not nice. So I'm just saying, we've got to be there for each other.
Liz, fuck them. We are. We're all here.
Yeah.
Look at, we got crazy. We got everybody.
We got Nora in the chat. We got Pearl
Selfless.
Snappy. We got Selfless.
We
We
got
got Jackson.
Joey. We got Gary Jackson, Mr. Jackson.
I'm
He
sorry, Mr.
loves-
Jackson.
He loves when I say that and when I sing that. He doesn't really. He's like, don't call
He's
me
the-
Mr. Jackson, because it stimulates him. It reminds him of the kids calling him Mr. Jackson as a security guard. And I get that.
You want to here? I'm going to drop a truth bomb on you.
Okay.
I wanted to obtain one thing from all of this, whether I got my dad out or anything. I wanted a father figure.
Mm.
I was talking to Jackson the other day, and yes,
Mhm.
I call him Jackson, everybody. I don't call him Gary. I call him Jackson.
Mhm.
He calls me Elizabeth.
Mhm.
I don't argue with him. He's the only person I will let call me that.
Mhm.
I'll call you that.
You can call me
No, I
anything
have
you
the
want. Just
similar
don't call me
thing
late for dinner.
with Jeff Hawkins. He doesn't let anybody other than his nieces and like his sweetie pies, his family members, call him Jeffy. And I'm like when I see him, and this is my mom's love for Jeff as friends and stuff was pure. They were pure friends, even in the Sea Org. And she was always like, oh, sweet Jeff, sweet Jeffy. I remember that. So I just was like, once I was talking to him on my channel and like having interviews and like learning about my mom through him, like the nice side of her and her sweetness, I don't know, the Jeffy came out. So only I can call him Jeffy Hawkins. But anyways, yeah.
Hey, that's good. But I told him the other day, I was like, I wanted to obtain a father figure, and I go to Jackson. You know, if something new is happening or if I'm not okay, I go to Jackson.
I need to call him. I love you, Jackson. You know I love you. He's called me like at least 5 times in 2 months with the nicest voicemails. Like, hey, kiddo, just checking in on you. And I haven't called him back, but I'm like, every time he calls me, I'm like,
Yeah.
aw. It's like so
And then you hear
nice,
the word
and then I
no,
don't
and you're
call him
like-
back. Yeah, I suck. I suck, Jackson. And then I call him, I'm like, oh, Jackson. And then I'm like, okay, what are you up to? And he's like, well, this. And then we have long, and he's like, all right, kiddo, I love you. And then we've been, it's 2 hours later. Done. I love you,
You
Jackson.
found
There
a
you
father
go.
figure.
Basically, I don't
I
need to
found a
call
father
you.
figure.
Yeah. So you're Jackson absolutely has that. And let me tell you this. I feel like Gary Jackson, aka Mr. Jackson. I also call him Gary Gare. He wanted, I believe, to always be a father, and he has that love. So I totally understand that. Liz.
And, you know, besides that, you know, he's like the coolest guy ever.
He's so cool. Jackson, you're so cool.
He's right up there with my dad.
Yeah.
My boyfriend would love, like, they have similar sweet kind of calm energies. I haven't seen Jackson as crazy as my Ant-Man, but
Oh, Unstoppable SB is here.
don't stop her. I'm here too. West
you for
Coast
doing this
Nancy,
live.
Nancy. So we'll do a few more. Let's get rid of the starred ones a bit, and then let's jump in.
I only have 7.
Okay, good. Do
Okay,
I?
pop
Oh,
'em
do
up.
I have some?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
I don't need it. No, I'm gonna delete some of these. Oh, not delete, but how do I remove them from my? No, not all these need to be starred. Why are these starred?
Because they were important at the time.
No, they're not. Savage, Summer,
Go for 'em.
Pearl Snappy. Like why? Okay.
Here's one.
How many times did the SPTV call you?
Call you. Oh, me? None.
Mhm.
Are you talking about me? None.
During her hospital.
Oh, when I was in the hospital?
Oh.
None.
Like they have never called.
I
me.
got a call from no one. I talked to Feral Cheryl.
Are you
because
okay? Can we talk about Feral Cheryl? I don't know. I haven't talked to her. I don't know.
I
if
haven't
you
talked to her either.
I haven't
The
talked
last
to her
time I talked to
recently. I need
her-
to say that recently.
Yeah.
I saw her when I protested, and I saw Dusty, I believe, or whatever, when they came out to LA, and that was sweet and nice. But I felt a little weird because I'm a very transparent person, and I felt like Feral Cheryl is. And I felt like she's fun and open and like, fuck that. Okay. Yeah. Well, it is what, like, I felt like she would be like that. And then nothing was talked about. And it's uncomfortable because I'm like, I'm not going to say, Feral Cheryl, are you uncomfortable? No. So, like, let us know. Like, did you unfollow me? If you unfollowed me, then okay, you have this idea that being friends with Aaron means you can't be friends with me, right? Or something like this, right? I'm not saying that she did that. I'm just saying if there's something like that going on, then it needs to be talked about. Like there's no reason to not talk about it. If we're not going to be friends, just say, hey, we can't be friends because, I feel like I more lean toward this kind of thing that makes me okay, cool. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. I'm grateful for Feral Cheryl. That's where I'm a little messed up, guys, because I think that I have these good friendships with people.
Wait. I don't think you don't have a good friend. I think that I'm going to be straight and blunt. Okay. I think that Feral Cheryl isn't being clear and being straight and blunt with you.
I honestly don't think
it's uncomfortable. No. And I feel that we love her because we've had so many sweet interactions with her and she's fucking awesome.
And she gives the best hugs.
Exactly. She gives the best hugs. Oh my God. Should I pull up that picture? Like, this is real shit. Like,
she hugs you and
she hugs you and it's like,
she wraps you
your day is
cocoon.
fucking okay. Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Let's go back to my Texas photos right here. This is the last time, other than when I gave her a hug and talked a little bit, during the protest in LA here, when they came to visit. Okay, we're going back. Oh, Pearl Snappy and Selfless and freaking all of our Texas buddies.
Yep.
Okay, now we're just
if you can't be friends, it's because you're not friends with Aaron. Then you're in a cult and not free. I will honestly say, I'm going to just tell you, Lara, people that are saying they called me while I was in the hospital every single day, that is a bold-faced lie.
Are people saying that?
People are saying that.
Yeah, there's a couple.
There's a couple people saying that they called me every single day. They text me every single day. I got a phone right here that says, liar, liar, pants on fire. The only people that I talk to, and I'll get to that in just a second. The only people that I talked to was you, Lara.
Oh, sorry. Did my internet just cut out, or did it cut out for everybody else?
It was just you.
No.
You were frozen for a second.
Was I? Oh,
yeah.
Okay, because I just saw 2 black screens. There was nothing. I was looking. I was looking and I was like listening to you, and then nothing. And I was like, Liz, tell me what you were saying.
So,
Okay.
I talked to, yes, I did talk to Nancy Drew. She messaged me to see if I was okay. I had a mod that I thought was one of my really, really good friends stop, didn't even message me. And then
you don't want to talk about that or what?
No, I'll talk about that part in just a second.
Okay.
I had Pearl, Selfless. I had DOA in the hospital room with me. I had Heather and Summer. I had you. I had my wife. And then I had Alicia. And really, that was it. Oh, and Dan Walks LA.
These are all mine and Farrell Cheryl. This was Texas, guys. These are fun things. But look, like that. I'm not gonna say I don't like Farrell Cheryl. There's no way. Hold on. And this is her. Here's Farrell Cheryl hug. I'll show you the Farrell Cheryl hug. This was so fun. We had so much fun. No.
It was. I can't wait for Pearl Fest 2.0.
And here we were protesting right outside. Exactly. This was all the Pearl Fest. This is literally Pearl Fest photos in freaking Texas. Oh, sorry. This way. Like we're outside the freaking org protesting. I'm not going to not like this person. But if we're there we are. But if there's some reason that she feels she can't speak to me, then that I'm telling, okay, I understand it. But then I'm telling you, Cheryl, that's not okay. You should be able to talk to the people that you like.
Absolutely.
You should be able to talk to people that we can have a conversation with you and talk to you about it.
Friendships with other people in the fucking way.
Yeah.
And same with Natalie. Same with Natalie. Same with everybody. Like, what the fuck? And guess what? Same with Aaron. Actually, Aaron, you can actually just be open and fucking talk to everybody openly and stop trying to like fucking maneuver shit.
That'll never.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Let
yeah.
me grab
I was gonna
Anne's comment real quick.
Okay. Sorry.
You're looking for that.
I was going to show you. No, I found it, but then I got distracted about all the fun things we were having in Texas.
Yep. So Ann Casillas, I love you, ladies. I love you. I love all you. God dang it. Why am I having such a hard time?
Because it's normal. I love you, ladies. I'll do it. You want me to do it? I love you, ladies. And I love all you supportive other 2 second and third gems, protesters and channels. This is the real movement I am interested in. There you go. This is Farrell Cheryl.
And the hugs.
She
like wraps herself up and it's literally
she got the hug. She's got me all up in there. Anyways, Farrell Cheryl, we love you. So hopefully, anyway, that's all. And thank you, Anne. Anne, you always, bless you, Carrie.
Thank you.
Anne, thank you always for everything you do, that you always send for all of us. Thank you so much. And thank you. I saw that degraded daughter, you cutie pie.
Tampa A, you don't have to fix a relationship that's not good enough for you, nor should you.
Yeah. That it's not good for you.
Yeah. It's healthy. I admit it. I speak to a therapist on a regular. I have her phone number. I can text her. If things are going bad, I can message her and be like, hey, can we have another session? Because I need to not go Fruit Loop. And it's normal to have these emotions. But at the same time, if I don't talk about it with my therapist, then I'm going to end up exploding, because sometimes it gets to be a lot. We're going over childhood stuff where we're trying to have a conversation and get through it without being overly emotional. And yes, I understand emotions are real and they happen. But when you grow up being told, get your TRs in for long enough, or I'll give you a reason to cry.
Oh, I hate that sentence.
What?
I'll give you a reason to cry.
I'll give you a reason to cry. Yeah. You know, it's hard to show emotion. So when we do show emotion, it's because I'm on emotional overload. And
Yeah, and we no
pouring
longer.
out now the
That's
wrong
what's
way.
shitty. Actually, most of the time when we're crying or fucking, when I'm telling Aaron, I'm on emotional overload when I'm going like, we can't even talk to you, and I'm sitting here going like, oh no, maybe this is my childhood trauma. I shouldn't walk away and leave, right? And I'm like, well, then I'll leave my live stream on and just go. Like, I don't know. I don't want to fucking keep being here feeling like a small child. Like, and it's not just Aaron that this has happened multiple times throughout our lives. This happens at work. This happens so many times where our immediate reaction is to just feel small and cry and feel like a little child or a helpless child and not cry and just keep our tiaras in and be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not going to fucking do that anymore. What the fuck is the problem with us just saying how we feel and say, hey, what's up with this? What's up? Oh, why not just answer and say how it is? Why are we being PR bitches? Why are we trying to PR structure shit? That's Scientology bullshit. Who gives a fuck about, you know what is so fucked up? When we went to go protest the Jimmy shit, the paparazzi fuckers were more like annoyed that we were going to disturb their paparazzi party. Okay, they had their ladders set up over the thing. They had their Coronas in the bag waiting on the fucking fence for them. You know what I mean? It's just like, I was like, I don't give a fuck if you're trying to get an autograph from Mila. And actually, I was like, I don't care about that. Go ahead, do it. But in that moment, and then here comes this cop who I had dealt with at La Poubelle, who had known how I was and how I behaved, and literally left us alone and just stood there to be a cop and watch and say, and because he had heard there was chairs or something being thrown. Yeah, these idolizing idiots that Hollywood is literally selling their shit to, and they're selling the autographs and selling whatever they can get, right? Covering up, they're idolizing this thing where it's like, Mila Kunis, why have you not talked about your husband fucking being best friends with P. Diddy, going to multiple, this is the subject at hand. Why are you not talking about it on your Jimmy Kimmel show? Why are you not talking about the fact that your good best friend, Danny Masterson, raped fucking 3 women? 2 of them were Scientologists in the Scientology behavior. Why does this not have to do with Scientology? Why are you not talking about Scientology, Mila? Who gives a fuck about your movie? Why don't you talk about all the Scientology bullshit and Danny Masterson and Ashton Kutcher, your husband, and fucking all this shit, and then talk about your movie? Maybe your shitty movie might get actually more views because you talked about something genuine.
And you were honest.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, this is what's going on in the real world.
This is happening right the fuck now. We're not on a movie set. We're not on a movie set. We're outside the Jimmy Kimmel Studios right now. Like, we were like, speak up, Mila. Speak up. You were She fucking said a statement today that shocked me when I watched the interview that happened, the fucking Jimmy Kimmel interview. I'm swearing much because when I get traumatized, I swear a lot. I did that a lot as a kid when I was being dragged through the gravel and forced by an adult, squeezing my fucking hands in a shovel to dig a fucking 8-foot trench for 3 hours, whether I liked it or not, in the boiling hot sun, crying my eyes out. So yes, I swear a lot when I get heated up, but I'm very focused. I'm just heated up and I swear a lot. I just remember digging a trench for 4 hours in the heated sun and not being allowed. Okay. But yeah, so we need to talk about it all. Like that. No, we're not doing it on our channels. We're not fucking hiding shit on our channels. That shit is disgusting. That shit is disgusting. We have to be able to say, oh my God, I had a shitty today, and I don't want to fucking read the chat. I think you're all full of shit, and I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. We need to fucking say that. We need the world to know how we feel so they know that the genuinity of the processes of all of us talking about this shit on YouTube is actually valid. We're not just showing parts of it or showing what, like, you know, if that's what we're doing, right? And I'm not saying my everyday thing. I do have really fun things and shit that I do that I'll do on my own on cute little YouTube episodes when I have the time, when I'm not feeling uncomfortable that shit isn't being spoken about openly on fucking in SPTV community about what's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm not getting text messages and random emails and freaking unwanted messages from people that don't know me at all, and from people who knew me slightly that think they have more fucking say over what I'm doing right now in my life. No, you knew me maybe a little in a cult. How dare you come at me with a message like that? No, I have more respect for myself. I've been through more fucking therapy and shit than you have. I can see it by the way you're treating this whole situation. I'm not going down that road. We're not doing that. You're going to learn it or you're not. Yeah, I am getting fired up. I'm getting fucking fired up. Healing isn't linear. It's a roller coaster ride with a shit ton of loop.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying my loop-de-loop is stuck on stupid, and my seatbelt is stuck in not working. So this loop-de-loop needs to become a drop zone.
My honey just brought me his homemade Hawaiian chicken.
Nice.
He's been cooking it for like 3 or 4 hours. Anyways, just saying. So what? You're what?
Cheryl.
Healing
What happened?
also doesn't involve hurting other people.
And what's the point of that comment, Farrell?
No, just she's saying healing doesn't involve hurting other people.
But are you saying that on Aaron's defense? Are you saying that for me and Liz? Are you saying that for Nora? Who are you saying that for? And I don't agree with that, actually, Farrell. I love you, but I don't agree with that. Healing does involve hurting other people sometimes. Actually, it does. It does. Sometimes you have to accidentally hurt somebody's feelings for them to fucking go back and set back an hour or two and go, wow, why did my friend get so pissed off or upset with me about that? Let me check myself. It does require that. And maybe I'm taking that wrong, but that's what happens in chat.
I think, she was talking to Nora.
Sorry.
That was a comment from me, from Cheryl.
Okay.
We just misunderstood. Sorry.
Either way, I still stand by what I said. Cheryl.
They just said that.
Okay.
Farrell, Cheryl, you don't need to be, I'm out. You don't need to do that. Literally. And
there's no reason to do that. Nobody wants you gone.
We all literally love you, Farrell. We all love you. So if you're feeling like you need to leave, check your relationship with Aaron. And Aaron, you can fucking heal all of this super easily. You can literally be like, all right, I'm working on myself. I fucking love you all. I'm not trying to fucking ruin and break all my relationships. You can literally just be like, I'm going to figure it out. And then I can come back. That's not going to happen. But anyways.
No.
Okay. Okay. So anyways, cool. Let's go back to 9 years old. We're going to finish that all up on your end because I also bring mine. And then we can end whenever you want. I just wanted whatever your timing is, because you know me, I can do this for 8 hours. So
well, I know you guys can do this for 8 hours, but I'm at the tap point.
That's what I'm saying.
What we can do is schedule another live and
which
continue,
we will.
because I'm going over my childhood in therapy. And in order to go through my child in therapy, I'm going to talk about a lot of the stuff on here.
Good.
A lot of this stuff that we went through and that you asking me questions like, hey, you grew up with this. What did you grow up with? You know, where were you?
Mm-hmm.
All of that helps me address it. And if I can address it all, I can get past my past.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, and you can kind of enjoy it in a more healing way. You can be like, oh well,
Yeah.
you can instead of feeling like you're right there again in the moment when we're talking about it, you can like we both can. I'm saying you, like we as people who have been through this, you can kind of like come back to it like interesting. That makes sense that I behave that way and all this happened. This makes total sense.
Yeah.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And
I love you so much. We can keep going maybe for 5 more minutes. If anybody has
Yeah.
like one last question or big cutie pie things or whatever, put it
Any
in
last-
now. And then
Yep, throw it in.
you let me know when you're like ready to do part 2. And then maybe I can actually I want to do like a quiz. You do a quiz for me. I do a quiz for you on things that we both have questions about that we don't know that of each other that would really explain to the crowd and everything how like just stories and chunks of our lives that we know each other, that we know about each other, but we don't know like certain details. Like
Yeah.
sewing the fact that you like sewing the part that your dad is at Gold Base and that's why he wasn't there to be like, fine, I'll handle this flap, Liz. This
Yeah.
Liz flap at 9 years old. Who's gonna handle this child?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, my baby
But-
loves. Okay, anything?
All right.
Oh, you got more here. Do you have? I think there's. Okay, maybe it's just me. Okay,
All
Roxy,
right. Well, I
you're
didn't
so
see
cute.
any additional questions or concerns pop up.
Concern.
Liz, Laura,
We have a
or-
concern.
and Nora, do you feel being open about all this does help you healing? Your healing. I think so, because honestly, this is how we really feel. This is it. There's no his side, her side. There's no cool clique. We have a group of friends that say hi to each other and we just make an effort. The phone works 2 ways, people. You know, if people want to be in our friendship, they call us occasionally. They don't say that they call us. They actually call us. That's why certain people are still our friends. That's why I will ride or die for Pearl. I will ride or die for Heather, for Summer, for Selfless, for DOA because he showed up at my hospital bed. For Laura, you call me and I will drive down there. I don't care what the situation is. You call me and I'm there.
I don't
Just
need
like
it.
I
I
said
love you.
before.
I know. I'm gonna come to you anyway.
Okay, good.
Yay.
And Carrie
She just
coming
said
to the
yay.
lake soon.
Get some leg time, yes. So we will plan this like maybe next week. I don't know what your schedule is, but we'll talk about it. So that
I'm
way we
open.
can-
I'm open during the week. I'm busy this weekend, working.
Okay. Question.
So I'm
Liz,
literally.
when
We
did
can do
Pokemon-
2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do. Take 2, take 3, take 4, take 5.
There we go. Pokemon became a part of my life about 2 years ago. I didn't have anything besides the comic books that I really attached as a childhood, and learning about Pokemon really gave me something to connect to feel like was mine and like a childhood piece. I got to feel the adrenaline rush and the race of, oh my God, I found a card, you know, and I didn't get one this one, but it's okay. You know, that the same thing that little kids get to enjoy right now. It just meant a lot to me.
I have things like that, but that's why I'm like, if Liz likes Pokemon and all that, let her have it. Let her love it. Let her adore it. Let her be her fucking thing to have. Like, what the hell?
Yep. I adore it. And
Leave
just
people
like
alone.
Murder, She Wrote and Matlock and Perry Mason and all these weird shows, because we only got like an hour of TV a day.
We did not get TV. I know
Once
TV was a poison. TV was like gonna mess up your brain, your mind. It's like putting Reactimine images in your mind. There was no TVs at the end ranch. Just a a screen and the VHS player or something like that in the
L. Ron Hubbard
the adult, yeah, exactly, for the exactly. Or if you got permission, if you were older, if you were starting to get older at the end rants, like in your teens, then you were allowed to like officially, if you CSW to get a day off libs, then maybe you would be able to watch a movie or something like Dances with Wolves or something, very, very okay.
I like Dances with Wolves.
I love it. But it's probably because I was one of the only movies I was allowed to watch.
But okay. So I was only allowed to watch like TV when it came to like certain shows, when it came to, living with my mom, certain shows that she likes. So it was a whole bunch of Star Wars, Star Trek, things like that. It wasn't until I went to live with my Aunt Cindy, I was, oh God, I think I was 11 or 12. And I finally got to see what 90210 was about. I finally got to see what ER was about.
So wait, how old were you now at that time?
I think I want to say I was like 12 years old. And I finally got to watch, watch the rest of the seasons of Saved by the Bell. And I was like, oh my God, that's the best show ever.
She's dying.
No dying.
I muted because I was dying. No,
no dying allowed.
A rice went down my throat. It's so good, I can't help it. A rice went down my throat, but yeah. When I left the Sea Org, I was couch surfing, of course. After I left the Eagle Rock burpee situation, wasn't working out after 3 months because apparently I wasn't paying. I think it was $500 or something I was supposed to. I was like, I don't know how to make money. I was like, I can't get a job. I don't have a Social Security. Or I don't know how to get that. Like, I was like, I don't have a driver's license. I don't know. It was just so much. My brain didn't even know how to work in the outside world. So fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Learning and loving. They used to put us in the theater room to watch some Dynetics films of football players getting injured in ground.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And those films were made at Golden Era Productions or at the Ant Ranch. Because we were out in the middle of nowhere in the mountains. So they were able to just set up like the whole auditing, how to set up a session was all filmed at the Ant Ranch. Out in,
yep. And the commercial quality doesn't change much, in case you haven't noticed, those of you that have seen Dynetics commercials or Scientology
it's because Jeff Hawkins isn't working on them anymore.
Right? There's a lot of people not working on them anymore because they're getting a little younger, but they don't make the movies like they used to. I left a comment on
nice,
YouTube replay, got blocked right away.
That's fucking awesome,
nice.
Sandy. So just so you know, Sandy Perkins has been following me and Liz, and since I started doing YouTubes and was like, hello,
me too.
Is this thing on? Oh no. Oh, is it muted? Oh, it's been on. Oh my God. Did I say bad shit? Oh God. Sorry. Hi, guy. Liz, Sandy Perkins literally has made all the crochet, not all, just a bunch of crochet cute things, a bunch of crochet penises. They're on the website, LaraFM website. You can get your own penis for only $40, and Perkins gets a cute percentage of that. I get to send her I send her LaraFM goodie things because there's only a limited amount of these crocheted penises. Anyways, now I'm going on a roll. Sorry. Go ahead, Liz.
It's okay.
I love you. I keep staring at your Viper Room hat. And then it reminds me of Viper Room.
I wore it specifically for you. You wore an outfit that I would wear, and I wore an outfit that you'd be happy with.
Yep.
Never fell into a cult. Well, congratulations. I did.
Okay.
There are several things.
Congratulations.
Scientology put its members through almost
them.
all of them. Most of the girls and boys have been especially abused, specifically abused, mentally abused, physically abused, verbally abused. Yeah, we were garbage. We were honestly garbage.
If you weren't in line, if you didn't have your ethics in and shit, you were treated literally like the scum of earth. They would go make you do mess work, which was the equivalent of scrubbing a dumpster with a toothbrush with bleach and ammonia at the same time, so that you would feel fucking crazy because you literally are being fucking intoxicated by chemicals, and they're just giving you 5 squirt bottles. And if you mess up and choose the wrong one, that's on your fault.
Yeah, then you were the one that was out ethics, and you will be the one
If you got
reporting to the
sick,
ethics
that's your
officer.
problem. If you fainted, that was your problem.
You brought it in.
Yep, you pulled it in.
You pulled it in. Yep.
Pulled it in. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah. Get it right, Carrie. God damn.
I know.
Liz, I'm a vintage toy collector, so I admire collecting Pokemon. Thank you. I have quite a bit of stuff. One of my newest favorites. See, a friend of mine came to the hospital with me. And while I was at the hospital feeling like I could die, they had no idea that they knew that I liked Pokemon and did not know that Porygon was one of my favorites. Brought it to me while I was in the hospital room. And so now it goes right on the shelf.
That's very cute. So they were just taking care of you, and then they were like, "Oh, I came
they brought
home
me
and I saw
flowers
this." Oh my god! What the fuck, right?
Yeah, how horrible of Scott to do that for me. I'm just saying.
He's
horrible.
laying on the bed now. I can see him, but I don't know.
Scott,
if
you're
he's
an
listening.
asshole.
He's not.
just
It's
saying.
in my
You're
ears, guys.
turd-faced.
He can't hear it. He can't hear
I know.
anything.
It's okay.
Oh, he'll hear it once we revisit.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be all over Reddit about how amazing he was.
Yeah. Apparently, Scott's amazing.
Yep. Just saying.
Allegedly. That would be funny if Reddit put allegedly Scott is amazing.
Yep.
DOA.
Maureen, if you were still in, would you be at Blue?
Oh
If I
yeah,
was
that's
still
a
in,
yeah. Would you? Where would you be if you were still in the Sea Org right now? Oh my god, I would be.
I would be at Golden Era.
You would. That's right. Yep. Liz would have made it finally to gold, and she would have been so happy. And then you would have been okay with the abuse up there. You would have been okay with whoever was gonna be fucking ordering you around.
Yeah, and I already qualified because I was in Div 7 and I was HCO qual.
Yep.
So,
yep. And you were born and raised in this shit your whole life. Like whether it was in the Sea Org your whole childhood or just by your own family member or something. Yep. Your dad is at gold, so they could have absolutely. Let's see, there goes the
something got unplugged.
Hold on. Foxy unplugged something. We can't hear you.
That horrible guy DOA made sure none of us swore because Liz's mom was in the room. Yep, he got mad at everybody for cussing. Okay, try again.
That's a good question.
So you would be over your own dad? Technically, yes.
Still can't hear you.
Still can't hear you. Something's unplugged. All right.
Nope. Aw, Foxy.
Yes, because my dad was in a different department, but I would have been HCO. Oh. Hopefully she'll be back, and if not, what we will do is we will reschedule this for another time. Am I glad that I'm not at Golden Era? Absolutely. Am I glad that I am with the love of my life? Yes. Bleach and ammonia are a toxic combination. Yeah, we could have died at any moment. I want to say thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. Smash the like, show the subscribe button a little bit of love. And you know what? We will talk about this again another time. Oh, let's see. Can we hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. No, that was
We
okay.
can hear you now.
And
Okay, so the same way that we start this is the same way that I will always finish it.
okay, yeah. You said you were gonna end it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, well,
All
I
right.
love
This
you.
one.
I didn't
Hold
hear
on.
whatever just went on.
It's okay.
We learned a lot tonight. Liz is a Brit and allegedly Scotty has a heart. Yes. A really, really
Allegedly.
big one.
Auntie
Allegedly.
M. Auntie M. We've learned a lot tonight. This is how I read it. Liz apparently is British and Scotty's got a big heart.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He does. He makes
Yes,
Here
yes.
goes the microphone. It's here. Yes. Fox
You're here.
gave me all the kinds of loves and kisses. So too bad.
All right. So the same way I always start it will be the same way that we finish it. And that's with the amazing Lara FM.
So now you got to dream loud, dream